Once a year, the greats of Phillies history return for a fun-filled weekend of memories, stories, and lots of smiles. It's time to recognize the best that have ever put on a Phillies jersey and left their mark during 134 seasons of Phillies baseball. That time of the year has arrived. Welcome to Alumni Weekend. Year in and year out, it's always one of the best weekends for the Philadelphia Phillies. It's the Alumni Weekend. Now, normally there's somebody put on the Wall of Fame, but obviously that's been canceled for this year. Last year's recipient, Jim Thome, is in the house, as is a number of the other Phillies alums. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy. I'll be joined in just a little bit by Mike Schmidt, John Kruk, both Phils alums, and Greg Murphy. Well, the Phillies have won 2 World Championships. They've won 11 National League East crowns. And pieces of that are down on the field right now, ready to be honored. Let's go to Dan Baker, the public address announcer, for tonight's festivities.
Signed, new, and game-used items in the Phillies Charities auction through the Ballpark app until tomorrow, Sunday, August 13th. Now, this auction includes signed memorabilia, and items will be on display in the First Base Plaza tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we continue with the Phillies Alumni Weekend, a Phillies tradition in which the players who are the fabric of Phillies history return to the field. Alumni from the 1940s to the current decade will be introduced tomorrow afternoon prior to the Phillies-Mets 135 game. We thank Toyota, who is the sponsor of the Phillies Wall of Fame, which is located in Ashburn Alley. As is our tradition, we will now welcome those players who have achieved the special recognition of being inducted into the Toyota Phillies Wall of Fame. Larry Boa. Dick Allen. Greg Luzinski. Gary Maddox. Tony Taylor. Mike Lieberthal. Charlie Manuel. Jim Thome. Fans, this year, the Phillies family lost 3 beloved members of our Wall of Fame. Jim Bunning, the former senator from Kentucky, known as Gentleman Jim, was added to the Phillies wall in 1984 and was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1996. As a Philly, he became the first pitcher to win 100 games and record 1,000 strikeouts in each league. Big D, Dallas Green, had a career which spanned 62 years in baseball, 46 of them with the Phillies. He served in almost every capacity as a pitcher, minor league coach and manager, farm director, manager of the 1980 World Series champions, and a senior advisor to 6 general managers, proudly sharing his knowledge of players and the game he loved. Darren Dutch Dalton, one of the greatest leaders in Phillies history, and the heart of the 1993 National League champions. He was viewed by many inside and out of the Phillies organization as one of the toughest players of his generation, and has left a lasting legacy in the city of Philadelphia. Fans, would you now please turn your attention to Fanavision for a video tribute to Jim, Dallas, and Darren.
At the end of the end, it's the start of a journey to a much better place. And this wasn't bad, so a much better place would have to be special, no need to be sad. On the day that I die, I'd like jokes to be told and stories of old to be rolled out like carpets the children have played on and laid on while listening to stories of old. At the end of the end, it's the start of a journey to a much better place. And a much better place would have to be special, no reason to cry.
I shared half my life with the city of Philadelphia and the Phillies organization, and have said that I came here a boy and grew to be a man. Philadelphia is in my heart and soul, and I'll always bleed Philly red.
But nobody will touch the Philadelphia Philly fans. We love you. Thank you very much.
On the day that I die, I'd like bells to be rung and songs that were sung to be hung out like blankets that lovers have played on and laid on while listening to songs that were sung. At the end of the end, it's the start of a journey to a much better place. And a much better place would have to be special, no reason to cry, no need to be sad. At the end of the end.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm Mike Schmidt, and I'm honored to have been asked, thank you, to share a few thoughts with you to conclude tonight's ceremonies. And I'm as well honored to be a member of this fraternity up here on this stage. The Wall of Fame honors men whose accomplishments helped shape the Phillies' history. We're all proud to have worn the Phillies P. We cherish our memories, and the reception we receive from you every year at this time is wonderful, and we all love it. As you know, this has been a very tough year for the Phillies family, with the passing of Dallas, Jim, and Darren. We all have special memories of them. Some of us played for them. Some of us got to know them. Some of us were managed by them. Some of us just got to know them here at Hall of Fame weekend. For me, Dallas embodied the word respect. Respect for each other, respect for the game, and his way of doing things. And that led us to the World Championship in 1980. I hear you. Jim Bunning was about unselfishness. After his Hall of Fame career, which a lot of us that would be enough, Jim decided to become a congressman and senator, and he served his constituents in Kentucky for 23 years in Congress. Now for Darren, it was very unique. Darren was about love. Yes, he was a great leader, tough as nails, competitive, and for sure productive. But at the core of Darren Daulton was his smile and his ability to draw his teammates in toward him. I'm often asked what I remember most about my retirement. At our team party the night that I retired, the guys got together in somebody's room. There was a few adult beverages there, a lot of hugging. And the one thing I remember most about retirement was Darren Daulton grabbing me, yanking me off to the side, giving me that bear hug and that kiss on the cheek, and saying, "Mike, I love you." It's the first time I've ever been told by another man that I was loved. But I'm not the only guy Darren Daulton did that for. most of the guys on the stage received that bear hug and that kiss over the years. He taught me that indeed men can love other men. More importantly, he wasn't afraid to express it. A hug, a kiss on the cheek, and an I love you is what I remember most about my retirement in 1989. You know, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the passing of a good friend of all of ours also, Ruben Amaro Sr. A lot of you remember, of course, Ruben Amaro. Those of us who knew Ruben miss him in his soft-spoken manner as he gave much of his life to the Philadelphia Phillies. We all remember Ruben Amaro Sr. Lastly, a thought for you to take away tonight. It was 1 year ago that Dallas and Jim and Darren stood on this stage right now. Think about it. 1 year ago, they stood on this stage. None of us know when the Lord will call us home. So friends, live every day as if it were your last. Like these men, be a beacon of light. Like these men, spread love at home and in your community. Like the three men that we are missing up here tonight. The Wall of Fame family will miss those guys, but will celebrate their lives and the memories they left behind. Thank you very much and enjoy the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, a collective round of applause for these members of the Phillies Wall of Fame, some of the greatest baseball players in Phillies history. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and help us honor the United States of America? Out of respect for our country, we ask that you please remove your hats. Veterans, please salute. You're invited to join the Swing Time Dolls as they sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets
America, the Swing Time Dolls.
What a beautiful rendition of the national anthem following what has been a beautiful ceremony down on the field with words of wisdom from a Hall of Famer, not only a Hall of Fame third baseman, but that was a Hall of Fame speech by Michael Jack Schmidt. It's so true that 3 who were on the podium a year ago are not on the podium right now walking off. There's certainly some tears that are in the eyes of all. You saw Gary Maddox crying as the national anthem was being performed. It was an incredible night and an incredible tribute to 3 men, Dallas Green, obviously Darren Daulton, Jim Bunning, and don't forget Ruben Amaro Sr. as well. Let's go down to the field. Greg Murphy is with Mike Lieberthal.
I am indeed. Our 2012 inductee, Mike Lieberthal, is here. And, you know, it was a special ceremony tonight. You've been back to a couple of these, but the video presentation with Dan Stevenson and his group is just amazing tonight for those guys.
Yeah, it was. I mean, especially, I mean, for Darren, just to be so young and to go out like he did. And just, I was just with him in fantasy camp in January. So it wasn't too long ago. And, you know, it's tough to see him go.
It certainly is, but this weekend is also about a celebration, and you guys get a chance to come together. As Dan Baker just said, some of the best ball players that ever wear this uniform. It's a special time for you guys. You're going to see a lot of your teammates. Tell me, more stories told about your playing days or about what's happening now when you're doing this?
I just tell all the guys like Boa how old they are, and he just tells me, "Don't worry, you'll get there." I said, "Yeah, in 20 years," but. There's a lot of older guys this year, but it's nice to come back and see some of the guys, like especially Jim Thome, a guy I played with for a few years, and Charlie Manuel, one of my managers. It's special to see those guys, and every year I just enjoy coming back to Philadelphia and seeing the amazing fans that kind of stay in touch with baseball.
I guess it never gets old, really, when you sit up there and stand with these guys and realize that you're a part of this organization forever and ever. When you stop to think about it, that's pretty special.
There's not many teams that do that. I mean, you have your New York and Boston, and it's pretty special to spend that many years in Philadelphia and to have that kind of fan following, the ownership here. It's just a pretty good experience.
Well, Mike, it's always good to see you. Enjoy your weekend with your teammates.
Yeah,
have a lot of fun.
Right.
Make sure you get Bo on the way out, all right?
Yeah.
Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Yep, Darren Daulton tribute continues along with the 2 other fallen Phils in 2017. We'll be back with more with Alumni Weekend.
As we celebrate the Phillies alumni, we would like to thank
Tonight's giveaway here at Citizens Bank Park commemorating the 3 fallen Phillies from this past year, including Darren Dalton, who passed away last week. Steve Carlton was the first to be introduced, then Michael Jack Schmidt, and then the list went on and on. Larry Bowa, the shortstop from the 80 World Championship, the great Dick Allen, Greg Luzinski, of course. Gary Maddox was introduced as one of the Wall of Fame members. Tony Taylor still looking spry in his 80s. Bob Boone and Juan Samuel. It was a great night. John Kruk, you got a great round of applause there, Krucker. Charlie Manuel probably got the loudest of everybody. And then, of course, Jim Thome wrapped things up. The ceremonies just concluded a few moments ago. A beautiful tribute to not only Dallas Green, but also Darren Dalton, and of course Jim Bunning as well. All 3 passed away here in 2017. And Michael also mentioned Ruben Amaro Sr. as well. So the crowd settling in as we get set for first pitch for tonight's ball game. It's scheduled for about 7:35 or so. For those of you just tuning in and wondering, why is the game a little late? Well, that's because of the ceremonies that took place, and they were outstanding. I'll ask both of you guys as Weekends with Schmidt, presented by Acme Markets, continues on. A stirring moment. Michael, tremendous speech out there about the passing of the 3 this past year.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. I guess everyone's kind of aware that we had to make a couple of changes with tonight's ceremony. I was happy to have been asked to say a few words tonight. I'm very passionate about those 3 gentlemen that have left us, and very passionate about the guys on the stage behind me. Great friendships. You know, the foundation of what we don't realize as pro athletes is the friendships we make, the fraternity that we develop, spending time with these guys. We live with we are together for 7-8 months every year, whether we like it or not. And a lot of us learn to love each other. And of course, Darren Dalton and his love was kind of the theme of what I said.
An emotional week, Johnny, I know, for you and Darren's family and all of your friends. And it was a beautiful tribute to Darren.
Yeah, it was. And you know, I cursed at Video Dan yesterday for putting such a unbelievably emotional tape out there, tears running down my face as I had to watch what he did, and just remembering everything that Darren and I have gone through, 6 years as teammates, but a lifetime of friendship. And again, Jim Bunning also, Dallas Green. I didn't play for Dallas. I never played with Jim Bunning, but they were family because of what we've gone through. Wearing that Phillies P, like Smitty said, once you wear it, you're family, and we're all family right now. And, we all pull for each other during these tough times, losing 3 guys on the Wall of Fame, and also Ruben Sr.
Well, it was a great night. It will continue to be a great night, and the rest of the weekend as well. And we've got baseball. It's the Phils and the New York Mets. Yep, Larry Bowa, after shaking some hands, he'll take his place in the dugout. We remember, we look back, and we also look forward. It's an emotional night here at Citizens Bank Park. And again, we've got baseball. We'll be back right after this. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phillies. Visit citizensbank.com. By Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. taking the mound tonight here at Citizens Bank Park, getting set for tonight's ball game against the New York Mets. If ever the Phils needed a stopper, he's it. Let's take a look at the Mets lineup, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. All right, so there was a change about 10 minutes before we went on the air. Jose Reyes is playing second base for Neil Walker. He's been traded to the Brewers. Cespedes hitting third. Well, he's had a pretty good career here at Citizens Bank Park. Let's hope that ends here tonight. And Aaron Nola taking the mound, 8-7 on the year, an ERA of just over 3. He has 117 strikeouts and 112 and a third innings of work. And man, he has been one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, particularly since the All-Star break, but really over his last 9 starts.
I think you mentioned that one key word, pitcher. He knows how to pitch. He understands what he wants to do. And he's in a tough task right now because the Mets seem to be swinging the bats really good.
Brandon Nimmo leads it off, and the first pitch is taken outside. We're underway, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Nimmo hitting .308. Spent a lot of time in AAA this season, hitting .223. Just below the knees, 2 balls and no strikes. Home plate umpire is Corey Blazer for tonight's ball game. Fastball command has been the key to Nola's success, particularly during this run. Plus a pretty good changeup and curveball. That's another fastball toward the outer edge.
Well, that's fastball command right there. Throw it on the outer third and have it run just off the plate. Get a swing and a miss and a 2-0 count.
Ooh, man.
Fans are already getting into it. Our pitch cast presented by Mazda. Somebody else is getting into it with Corey Blazer as well. Here we go. All right, just a little inside. That looked like a good pitch.
They're never wrong.
3 balls and 1 strike. And a bouncer left side. Michael Franco is up with it. And 1 out here in the first. Time now for our Nissan keys to the game. Michael, we're going to start out with you. So why don't you take it away?
My key to the game is, can I calm down and relax here and talk about this baseball game? But also, can Aaron Nola keep it going? And that first at bat there by the Mets, he could have easily lost that hitter. And being behind in the hitter, he painted the corners of the plate and got him out. But he's my key to the game, Aaron Nola.
Well, my key is he has to keep these Mets bats in the ballpark. They score a ton of runs via the home run ball. They've done it here the first 2 games of this series, and we need to stop that tonight and get this 1 W out of the way of this series, and then tie the series up tomorrow.
That's right.
Michael.
Pounding the desk here. Stop this tonight.
How about 17 home runs this year at Citizens Bank Park for the Mets? Boy, 2 good changeups, and it's 0-2 to Reyes, who was not in the starting lineup. As we mentioned, the Mets apparently have traded Neil Walker to the Milwaukee Brewers.
Wow.
Brewers are thinking, man, we're going to make a run at the Central. Up high.
He swings it in Milwaukee like he swung it against us the first couple games of this series, and they're getting a heck of a hitter.
Central standings, they're 3 games out. The Cubs with 60 wins. St. Louis, remarkable every single year. St. Louis playing good baseball again. And a breaking ball swung on and missed. Reyes goes over the top of it. 2 outs here in the first.
Well, they got ahead of Reyes right now. Little fastball up to set it up, and good location on that curveball. Looked like about a 2-foot break.
That is his best out pitch, that curveball. Here's Cespedes. Cespedes, 13 home runs, 35 runs batted in.
This is Mr. Dayglow, isn't it? Does that stuff glow at night?
It is very bright. He's got a little more orange tonight with his batting gloves and wristbands.
Yeah, he doesn't have that neon green color. Arm sleeve and
using a different bat that he used in last night's game.
I believe the laws are hunting laws in West Virginia. You have to have 80% orange. So he needs to,
Well, this one guy on the Mets we need to quiet down.
Put a vest on him maybe.
Last night he hit his 150th career home run. He's the 7th Cuban-born player in baseball history to reach 150 wins. A towering pop-up off the third base line. Franco says he's got it, and he tells the turkey to head on out of the way, and he makes the catch at a 1-2-3 first inning. 12 pitches for Nola. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Phil's getting a chance to hit. They're half of the first. So let's see what the Phillies lineup looks like tonight. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Cesar leads it off, then Freddie Galvis and Odubel Herrera. Rhys Hoskins back in the cleanup spot, and then Tommy Joseph hitting .310 over his last 12 home games. He'll bat fifth, Williams sixth, the bottom third of Franco, Rupp, and Aaron Nola. They will face left-hander Steven Matz, the 26-year-old who's kind of been up and down this year. He stepped into the big leagues back in 2015. He was outstanding for the Mets, and he hasn't really been able to duplicate it consistently because of arm issues. And you see his numbers since the All-Star break, 0-3 with an 11.17 earned run average. And Michael, part of it is that, you know, he's a fastball curveball guy. They keep introducing the slider to him, and every time he does it, he becomes an ineffective pitcher most of the time.
Well, the slider, you're either comfortable with it or you're not. Seen them all over the years. The fastball slider, like lefty, two-pitch pitcher. Fastball curveball. Who would be a fastball curveball left-handed pitcher? Let's see, Sandy Koufax. Sandy
Koufax, yeah.
You want to go way back.
Kershaw was that way too, and then he implemented the slider.
Oh, no, there's a curveball for you right now, Clayton Kershaw. But it's a good matchup for the Phillies right here. We got some good right-handed hitters getting a chance to face the lefty.
Cesar Hernandez, 1 ball and 1 strike. He homered last night for the Phils.
Keith Hernandez said that Matz is similar to our own Pivetta, Nick Pivetta, with, you know, fastball 94, 95, 96. But the breaking ball is a work in progress. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not there. And then he can't command. If he can't command his fastball, he's going to get hit around.
Little bouncer toward third. Cabrera charges. Throws out Cesar. 1 out here in the first.
Well, he got that fastball in just enough, you know, just enough to get the chopper. Cesar couldn't get the head of the bat out.
Surprisingly, this is the first time the Phillies have faced Matz. You know, he came up in 2015.
Wow. But he's been hurt a lot. Yep. He gets hurt. He goes on the DL for a while. That could be one of those days where he's on the DL when the Phillies come to town.
Freddie had a great game last night. I know we lost the game, but watched it on TV, and 0 for 3, and then shot 2 balls to the right side. Get 2 knocks. You know, over the first base bag and a single to right field.
Said it was kind of nice to get some right-handed swings because he has been swinging a lot left-handed recently. He takes a peek over at Cabrera at third base. Fastball inside, 2-0.
How much of a mess would we have been if we were switch hitters? Had to worry about both swings. Oh my God!
I would have killed to be a switch hitter.
That's because you wanted that hole on the right side.
I tell you what, sometimes I dream. In my dreams, I'm a heck of a left-handed hitter in my dreams, but I can't touch a ball right-handed. You ever dream about baseball, John?
last night. It was weird. I told my kids, I said I had a dream that someone washed my uniform and put it somewhere, and I couldn't find it. And I showed up in the dugout. I was hitting fourth. Showed up in the dugout. My turn was coming up to hit, and guess who was my manager? Larry Boa. Larry Boa told me in no uncertain terms, "Get out of here. You're done." And I walked away. And I said, "Okay, my career's over before it started."
What were you wearing in the dugout?
Were you in your underwear?
I was in street clothes.
Oh, I
had
thought you were
jeans on and a
standing there.
T-shirt.
But those jeans were to die for.
They are to die for.
3-2 pitch lined right at Reyes. And 2 outs here in the first. And now Odubel Herrera's coming up. Odubel's hit in 14 consecutive games.
You saw that home run he hit in Atlanta off his foot.
I've seen him do that a couple of times. That's unique.
The lowest, since they started recording, the lowest pitch that's ever been hit for a home run in the history of baseball. Since they started recording it, what, 10 years ago maybe?
It can't be much more than that,
No.
right?
It's still fascinating. You know, Charlie was telling me Tony Oliva hit one on a bounce out of the ballpark in Minnesota. Eesh.
Curveball, I guess, high, 1-0.
Odubel likes that bunt now too. Last time I was up here,
Was that attempted bunt or did he just trip?
well, no, but you remember when about 3 guys got bunt base hits?
Yeah.
That was the last 2 weeks ago Sunday. Last time we were up here, and he's tried a couple of times. I've watched on TV. He kind of likes that.
Got another breaking ball, 1-1. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Lucy Hamilton of Philadelphia. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Lucy will win $100. McDonald's enjoying ice cold delicious soft drink for only $1. I'm loving it. Broken back grounder out to shortstop. Rosario takes a beat and throws out Herrera, and the Phillies go down in order. So a pretty clean first inning for both starting pitchers. 12 pitches for Nola, 13 pitches for Matz, and a new bat for Odubel. We'll go to the second. Phillies nothing. Mets getting a chance to bat here. Tonight's Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Well, the 1980 Phils, they were 91-71. Of course, they won the National League East over the Expos, and then the National League pennant over the Astros. Schmitty, 48 home runs that year. Steve Carlton won 24 games, and Tug McGraw was the saves leader in 80 with 20.
It's another ho-hum 48 home run year, huh?
Really?
1980, you remember that year?
No, that wasn't ho-hum, brother.
A hell of a year, I hear. I hear you guys. I mean, I hear you guys did well.
Was a heck of a year.
Yeah.
Conforto takes high, 1-1.
You know, we ran the table that year, John, and
I remember it.
Yeah.
How good was that Expos team, Mike, that you guys had to hold off?
They were pretty darn good. Tommy, we had to go up there and win 2 out of 3 to get in the NLCS. Oh, what a series that was. We won the first 2, actually. We got this guy right here will tell you all about it. He has the greatest baseball memory of any man alive.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Conforto, and it's inside 2-2. Well, the man that Mike is talking about is the catcher from that 1980 team. That's Bob Boone, who joins us here. Booney, Schmidt just said you have the greatest memory of anybody all time.
He lied. It's gone. I'm too old now. I had a pretty good memory one time. Now all I do is I keep looking at all the things that we do, and I cry.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, the ceremony tonight, I mean, it was a little different than what we're normally used to, but that was I told Michael, I said it was a great speech. The video was awesome, but that moved everybody to tears, I think, tonight.
Yeah, and Mike was great. I don't know if did you write that, Mike?
Yeah.
That was tremendous.
Thank you. Appreciate
really
that.
Swing and a miss. Conforto's down on strikes.
But those are 3 great people and friends that, you know, all have a piece of our heart, and it's tough.
Well, I think what Mike said, I mean, was so appropriate that a year ago at this time, all 3 were here, and you know, that's why life is so you cherish every minute that you have it, and you know.
Well, he was trying to scare us. It scared me. I'm looking around going, who's next?
Apparently he turned around and looked behind and said, boy, some of these guys need to get in shape.
Not Tony Taylor, though.
No, Tony,
no, he's unbelievable.
Energy still that Tony has is amazing.
I thought that was just watching him walk out at his age and just the kind of person he is. As Cabrera hits this one toward left field. Hoskins over toward the line. He's under it, and he makes the catch.
Speaking of Tony, when we were coming up and growing up into big leagues, I stood between innings of every game. I stood right next to Tony Taylor. Tony Taylor could read pitchers and pick up signs, and he was tremendous. I went right to Tony Taylor, and we just sat there, and then he'd say, see, it's a curveball coming. He'd say, see that, Bobby, right there? And I'd say, no. But he taught me an awful lot.
Well, that's the thing about it. I mean, you guys, we mentioned so many guys, Ruben Amaro Sr., Tony Taylor, Dallas. Talk about the teachers of the game, you know, that you guys had as players. And, you know, John, we talked to Larry Bowa last night. I mean, he was a huge teacher for you, but these teachers of the game that you guys had.
Well, and, you know, it started with Paul Owens in Dallas, and those development years, you know, Paul was in development to start, and then of course he built eventually the '80 World Series team, and Dallas was under him and beating everybody as to how to play the game right, and it's such an important thing. I'm involved in that a lot with the Washington Nationals, and it's really difficult, but it's how do you learn the game?
Yeah.
And then you get to the big leagues and you realize you don't know anything about it, and you really start learning them.
Well, speaking of the Washington Nationals.
Ground ball back toward the middle.
By the way, that's a Gold Glove shortstop we have there.
I've seen him.
Why don't we ask Booty this question in the next half inning? Booty, you stick around for another half inning,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
That play by Freddie Galvis wraps up the top of the second. We'll head on to the bottom of the second here in Philadelphia. over some of the numbers for the 1980 World Championship team. Obviously, Bob Boone stood out. Not only the captain behind the plate, defensively remarkable with his skills. Can also dance a little bit, as you can see right there, running all the way out toward third base.
That's just a great speed.
So you don't like that picture?
That picture? I'm used to it. I've seen it enough. We were talking about it actually on the stage with Gary Maddox. Said he tells people is if you look on the field, I was right at the end of the dugout, and there's no way as a catcher I'm supposed to be there. And I always said is Charlie hustle my rear, and I'm the one to hustle on that play.
Did you tell him that after bouncing into his glove?
Every time I see him. But his answer is, well, I'm the one that caught it.
Hoskins lines it foul, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. He breaks his bat. Well, I mean, weekends like this, I mean, I know this is probably true for John, but for you guys, does it bring back memories of that 80 team and everything you guys went through to get there?
Well, to see everybody, it does, and that was a special year. We'd been through a lot in order to get there, and I think at the time, I know for me, it's like this is do or die, and we had lost 3 playoffs to get to the World Series, and I think once we got through the Houston series, which was one of the all-time great series, I think we felt like we're going to win. And then that first day, the first game we played Kansas City, and every one of their players was ripping the ball. And had we not gotten Willie Wilson out steadily the whole series, I think we might have gone down.
1-2 pitch to Hoskins inside.
Bob, Rhys Hoskins hitting now, our cleanup hitter. He's 0 for 6 in a couple of starts. He's hit a couple of balls hard, a couple of walks, but you're probably aware of him as you cover the minor leagues, right, for the Nationals.
When I've been in Reading, I've seen him play there, and then Lehigh Valley this year. I see all of your guys when I'm watching our guys, and he's a really good player. I was kind of surprised that he wasn't here earlier, and the thing is, there's such expectations when you come to the big leagues. But you never know, and it takes a little time. But his talents are tremendous.
Right. Well, as Mike said, 0 for 6 so far. 2-2 is hit in the air to left field. Cespedes going back. He's under it, and he makes the catch. And I think the fans, John, I think want it to happen so much too.
Probably want it to happen more than he does, but if that's possible. But Schmitty, Bo, how tough would it be? You come up to the big leagues. Your first game in the big leagues, not only are you in the starting lineup, but you played 3 games in his professional career as an outfielder, and now he has to play in the big leagues in Philadelphia at a new position.
Well, playing in the big leagues is tough. I mean, a lot of times you want to be there and you want to play bat, and a lot of times we got to squeeze you in where we're going to squeeze you in, and that's just life in a big city. I know I talked to the minor leaguers about learning. I said this game's really hard. That's when you get to where you want to be, it gets really hard.
Yeah, that's the journey is difficult, but then staying at that point of journey, at the end of the journey, it's not easy.
That's the toughest part, no question.
Bob Boone joining us up here in the booth. It's Alumni Weekend here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies, of course, won the World Championship in '80, and then the second World Championship came in 2008. 0-2 pitch to Tommy Joseph, taken high. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think I'm always have trouble believing 1980 was 37 years ago.
Oh, jeez. You had to bring it up.
Gosh.
That's a long,
It doesn't seem, you see all the guys, and it doesn't seem like that. But then, of course, you see Bake McBride, you see Gary Maddox, and the Afros are gone.
Gary Maddox looks like he could still play when he's walking out to the podium.
Yes, they're good.
Ball's hit foul, and it remains 2-2.
I heard Manny Trio's here. Is that
Manny's here?
Manny's here.
Yeah, we haven't seen Manny in a while. He looks good.
There's Gary.
There it is. Where's that afro, Gary?
He still has that strut, though, doesn't he?
Yes, he is.
That's what you think about that team. I mean, you guys were a good offensive team, but man, you had some good defensive players.
Yes.
In '80.
Well, did we have 5 Gold Gloves one year?
Probably. Boa should have had a couple more.
Yeah. Maddox had one, or in that 1 year I think we had 5. Trying to think, you, myself, Boa, would it be Trio and Maddox?
I don't think Manny got one. I don't recall.
Still a heck of a defense up the middle between you, Boa, Trio, and Gary.
It's one in this day and age with all the hitting, with so much of the pitching, you don't realize a lot of times how important that defense is, and how the really good teams, the Cubs last year when they won, and talk about the offense, all that, but their defense was phenomenal.
1 ball, no strikes to Nick Williams.
I know if you talk to a manager, Charlie Manuel, for sure, his outfield defense is something that he insists upon being good. I mean, he can remember balls that dropped in key situations in games that never should have dropped. It totally changed the whole momentum of games.
Yeah, he had Pat in left field, but he would sub him out in the 7th inning after his last at bat to make sure that that defense was tightened up even more.
Well, in a tendency to get that bat in, a lot of times you put him, as Corky said, Hoskins in left. That's kind of the spot. And I can remember when we were putting the Washington Nationals team together, how important it was for us, because in the early days when we didn't have much, the Bermuda Triangle up by second base, where nobody can get to that ball, is huge play. And then all of a sudden you get a Gary Maddox, and you never see that ball drop in anymore. Is really important. Those few outs that are made with a tremendous center fielder, a great shortstop, a solid catcher, in a lot of ways the great first baseman, that ball hit down the line instead of it being double, he's picking it, makes such a big impact on the game, and over time, when you're playing day in and day out, it just makes so many more outs. It's a huge thing.
Real quick, Bob played Pine Valley today.
Oh, yeah.
How'd it go there, man?
Not real quick. I started out pretty good, and I ran out of gas on the 5th hole.
Well, you had to prepare for tonight, joining your buddies over there.
Yeah, so I prepared by being lousy.
I think Levy was in worse shape than you were today.
He was moving kind of slow.
Well,
hey, Booty, thanks for coming on.
Okay, my pleasure.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay. Bob Boone, our guest. We'll be back with the top of the 3rd. Up the fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, guys, here we go. Who had the highest batting average for the 1980 Phillies? Minimum of 500 at bats. The highest batting average of the 1980 Phillies.
I'm going to defer to you, Michael.
Tommy Green signing some autographs out in the Hall of Fame Club.
Billboard back. You can put a billboard on his back right now.
It's incredible how
huge
the shape he's in. If we ever got into a scuffle, Mike, that's who we're going to have protect us. Tommy Green. Well, Bull on the side too.
Yeah, about 20.
Manny.
Manny Trio just walked by.
I think I'd still sick lefty on him.
Well, you'd have to have him as part of the crew. Travis d'Arnaud leads it off.
There's Bake.
There's Bake McBride. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bake looks good. I think at the closing of the vet, he was having some knee problems. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Good breaking ball from Nola. Nola's got 2 strikeouts through the first 2 innings tonight.
Yeah, there was a player, an underrated player, Bake McBride. He played a big part in our series win. He did a 3-run home run the first night. Off of Leonard. Dennis Leonard.
Dennis Leonard. Yeah, you talk about all the guys that the Phillies brought in over the years to get to the 80 championship. He's one of those guys. As d'Arnaud strikes out, 3rd strikeout. Of course, Gary Maddox was one of those guys as well.
Not the pressure was on Gary Maddox coming up, being told that you're the guy that's going to replace Willie Mays. It's rough.
And they had a bunch of young outfielders. They had Sarge, they had Gary Maddox, they had Bobby Bonds. They had some young outfielders with that crew too. Here's Rosario.
Had a guy named Gary Tomlinson.
Gary Tomlinson,
remember that
also,
name?
yeah. Rosario had his first major league home run in last night's game.
Proved to be the game winner too, which I'm not fond of him for that.
Opposite field power. 2-0.
Is that a first pitch fastball?
That's a good question. I thought it was the second pitch.
I thought it was the second pitch too.
Off the outside corner, 3-0. They said that he had sneaky power down in the minor leagues. Well,
snuck up on one yesterday.
Sure did. Guess he figured everybody else was hitting home runs for the Mets. He might as well join the party.
I don't think it's sneaky enough to give him a 3-0 green light, though.
Nola, since the All-Star break, has an ERA of 1.97. The other part of his game, which has really stepped up, the strikeouts. He's averaging more than a strikeout per inning pitched. That's the changeup, the ever-evolving changeup.
Yeah, that's the one that they said is a work in progress. But since the second half of the season, it has become not a work in progress, but a weapon. 3-1, young hitter. You know he's going to be aggressive. He hit his first home run last night. Looking fastball, pull the string, get strike 2.
A liner out toward right center field. Williams on the run. He won't get there. It's a 1-hop off the board. And Rosario, another opposite field extra base hit. That's his first major league double. And now he's in scoring position with 1 out.
Wow, he likes that right center slot. What a beautiful pitch that changeup was. And then I guess Aaron comes back with a fastball. He tried to run it over the outside corner. And still a ball you got to go the other way with, but Rosario did.
And that'll bring Matz to the plate. A 167 hitter this year. And now Aaron Nola calls Rupp out. See what they do it with Matz here with 1 out and a runner at second base. Last night, Seth Lugo, the starting pitcher for the Mets, he put on a clinic with his sacrifice bunts. He had 2 perfectly placed sacrifice bunts.
Well, you wonder with 1 out if they would even think about sacrificing, maybe let Matt swing.
Yep, they're going to let him swing, and he takes strike 1. It's 0-1. The corners were pinching in, and now they'll hang back a little bit.
That's an interesting question that doesn't have an answer. Is there any way we would know if a pitcher bunts in this situation what the percentages are of the runner scoring from third with 2 outs? I guess it has a lot to do if your leadoff hitter is a guy that can produce a high chopper, or
look at 2 guys down from you. If he can't get the answer, it can't be answered.
Carl actually researched this earlier this year, and we'll have to go back and find it. 0-2 to Matz. Curveball bounced foul, and it remains no balls and 2 strikes.
I don't believe the old theory of, well, but he's in scoring position already. Why not let the hitters try to knock him in? That's not true. In this ballpark, it takes a soft single or a ball in the gap generally to score a runner from second. Maybe a ball straight away to center field, a single straight away is different, but any balls to the outfield corners, you have to hold him at third anyway.
Swing and a foul tip. There's 4 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. Help an animal in need find their forever home. Join NBC 10 and Telemundo 62 for Clear the Shelters, a nationwide pet adoption event August 19th. Adoption fees will be waived. Go to cleartheshelters.com to find a participating shelter near you. All right, so 4 strikeouts for Nola. There are 2 outs here in the third, and Nimmo is the batter as the rain starts to fall a little harder. A change up, but it's 0-1. Actually, that was a fastball. But his movement on his fastball sometimes, his 2-seamer, kind of goes away, and sometimes you buy into it thinking it's a circle change.
Nimmo's the one who started out this game with ahead in the count and had a kind of a indifferent swing, 2-0, and then 3-1. A little cue shot off the end of his bat to Franco. Wouldn't think that 2-0, 3-1, those would be your options.
Swing and a miss. That's a good hook right there.
This ball leaves his hand right down the middle of the plate and ends up on Rupp's right foot.
See if he throws it again. Nope, he went with a fastball that runs up. Nimmo's been a pretty good pinch hitter for the Mets. He has 10 pinch hits since he first made his major league debut a couple of years ago. Get a chance to start for Curtis Granderson. That one's a swing and a miss. It gets by Rupp. He'll pick it up with his bare hand. Fire to first, not in time. The throw was a little high. It'll be a strikeout for Aaron Nola. I think that ball just went right off the glove of Cameron Rupp. I don't think there was anything else to it.
Yeah, there was some bad, there was some good, and then there was some bad. The bad was he missed it. The good was it hit so hard off the backstop it came back to him. Still had a chance at Nimmo. And then the bad was a high throw that took Tommy off the base. Yeah, he just whiffed it.
I don't know, maybe that ball ran on him late.
But he catches a break right there when it comes off the wall hard, and then he threw high to Tommy. And
you give Nimmo credit for hustling on the strikeout.
Well, it is a pass ball charged to Cameron Rupp, his 8th of the year. And now Reyes is up. Curveball to Reyes, and it's 0-1. 24% of the time, Michael, if you bunt with a runner at second and move him over to third, does he score?
Yeah, but just think about it. If he'd have bunted him over, he'd have scored on that one.
Well, that's true.
Thanks, John.
Always behind you, Mike.
Well, 24%.
Yeah.
I guess is not good. Unless you know what the percentage is of the guy scoring from second.
Well, it would be 39% of the time he'd score from second without the bunt.
There you go.
Am I reading that right, Carl? Fouls it back.
Tell you what, Carl's on top of things.
Yeah, so a difference of 15%. Carl is affirming that it's 39% that he scores in all other situations. I have no idea where he gathered all that information from, but there's a lot of writing going on. One ball, two strikes to Reyes. A couple extra pitches in this inning also for Aaron Nola, although his pitch count is manageable into this third. Two.
That's the pitch he got a swing on from Nemo. Good take by Reyes.
Didn't he get Reyes to swing at that one to strike him out his first at bat?
Yep. They threw a changeup also to get two strikes.
You might see that changeup here.
Runner goes, pitch is taken low, throw to second by Rupp is not in time. They come home, and that is in time. Rosario tried a double steal, but Freddie Galvis came running up in front of the plate and was able to get to the baseball and get a clean throw to Cameron Rupp. And the side is retired. No runs, one hit, one man left.
Textbook spring training right here.
They work on it every day. The Phils get out of this third inning. You buy your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by McDonald's. Enjoy an ice cold delicious soft drink for only $1. I'm loving it. Alumni weekend, and that is the poster that was given out here tonight to the crowd that has filed in. And we mentioned Alumni Weekend. That means Greg Murphy's going to be busy with some interviews. Let's check in with Murph.
Yes, let's get them underway. Why don't we say hello to Del Unser, who, of course, two stints with the Phillies in your baseball career, but, of course, a part of the 1980 World Championship team as well. And you and I were just sitting here talking about how much fun it is for you and your teammates to get back together and kind of reminisce about your baseball careers.
Well, the Phillies have hit upon a great thing to have this Alumni Weekend and to bring not just our team back, but the '93 team, the Whiz Kids back when, and all these guys that don't get to see each other except through this opportunity. And it's really been great to continue that tradition.
So do you sit back and do you tell stories about your playing days? Do you listen to the stories, or do you find out what's going on nowadays with the guys that you played with?
I think it's more catching up, and we tease about a couple of things that may happen somewhere along the way, or some nicknames that they probably haven't heard since they left the clubhouse. But yeah, you want to find out what they're doing. Did they sell their business? Are their kids in college? And what, that kind of catch-up stuff. And I know my wife, Dale, she's all over that. She's trying to make sure she remembers everything.
Well, one of your former teammates is in the booth, of course, that third baseman that played on that 1980 team. And we were talking, you and I, about the ceremony before the game and just how terrific it was and what an amazing job Mike did. And I know that you thought the same.
I tell you what, that was as moving a tribute as I've heard, and one of the best things I've ever heard Michael Jack do. I mean, he hit the nail on the head, hit it out of the park like he does, and it was really inspiring, and I had to wipe the tears out of my eyes for a while there.
Hey, Del, Murph, can I say something to Del?
Go ahead, Mike, yeah.
Hey, I often answer the question, what was the biggest hit you ever got in your career? And I said, well, I didn't get it. Del Unser got it. You remember that in Houston?
So he had mentioned this to me before the game, Del, that he said that I should ask you he said when he gets asked, what's the biggest hit you ever got in your career? He said, well, I didn't get it. Del Unser got it for me. You remember that postseason where you picked up your teammate once or twice?
Well, we wouldn't have been there without that thumper, but yeah, I mean, I spent at that time like 13 years of my career never having been in a postseason game, and I mean, I didn't know how to act. Adrenaline did all that. I mean, it was really a thrill for me and my family.
5 for 11 in the postseason was Del Unser. That's a .455 batting average. He had 3 doubles and then 3 RBIs, and they were big ones. A big part of getting that World Championship to Philadelphia. What do you remember best just about, it was near the end of your career, so just being a part of a winner at that point, is that what was most special?
Well, this little ring, I never had the shot, and I said, even National League Championship ring would be great, but we almost didn't get out of Houston. And then to get in the World Series, that was just unbelievable for a lot of us.
We often say that the guys in today's game, you're now a scout with the Phillies. You've been with the Phillies organization, we should tell folks, obviously, for years and years and years in all different roles. Right now, you're scouting for them. How different now are the players than from when you were playing? Are you looking for different things at this point for guys that are coming through?
Well, you're given a certain amount of places that they come from and ethnicities, cultures, and all this other stuff, and you try to see how they're blending in to the current culture of what baseball is today, and then you have to project from there. And it's easy to see the tool, great arm, great speed, great hit, but what is he around the batting cage? What does he do to his teammates? What does the coach say about him, which is usually canned? But you got to try to see through some things to see, are we going to be able to live with this guy for 8 months? And baseball season is a long time, and the intangibles in it and the metrics are very important, but the intangibles in it are also very important.
Well, before I let you go, it has been a great baseball life. You and I, you're a player and a coach and a scout and part of the farm system, and you've done so many things. But this is going to be it for you. This is a final year for you.
Yes, it is. And I told Matt a year ago that I was heading in this direction, and he wishes me the best and all. And it's been really great working with him and Andy and everybody here, and John Middleton as he's taken over. And I just, it's beats working for the last 50 years. You know what I mean? I mean, it's really been a wonderful ride, and a lot of ups and downs, but a wonderful, wonderful ride. And the Philly fans have been so supportive over all these years. It's just been great.
Well, Del, it's always great to talk to you, and I would imagine we'll be seeing you here year after year.
I hope so. You know, you get a little older sometimes.
Well, we'll welcome you back for sure next year. Thanks for the memories, Del. We appreciate it. Guys, let's send it back to you in the booth.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Cesar lines it out to center field. Conforto is able to track it down. Cameron Rupp is heading to third, then he puts the brakes on. Once he didn't go initially, that was probably the better decision, and not to try to tag.
Yeah, it was. Cesar hit that ball good, real good, and Conforto made a nice play on it. And Cameron made a nice play, tagging up and not going to third.
Now, if he had gone back right there, so he was hesitating there, but you know, with one out.
With one out, the worst case scenario. Well, if it had gone over the center fielder's head, I believe Cameron would have scored pretty easily. Or at least he would have been on third with one out and Freddie hitting. Everything went right there. Hit the ball hard. Just had a man there, you know. He's been there for a long time.
Yeah, they move around a little bit, but they're always in that same vicinity, aren't they?
Bobby Molinaro.
We got a man there.
every time that happens, I think about that. I keep wondering if his voice is the same now as it was then. 1 ball, no strikes to Galvis. Lined out his first time up. And it's 1-1.
My little granddaughters love that. I told them that the other day. I don't know what, you know, I started speaking like Molinaro. We got a man there.
And now they're going to repeat it over.
If you're waving at me, holla. Hi. That's what he used to say on the strike. And they love it. They start, you know, saying it too.
1 ball, 1 strike to Galvis. Phillies still without a hit tonight. And he lines it foul.
I'll tell you what, Freddie gets comfortable right-handed and left-handed going the other way like that. 2 strikes especially. Woo. Waiting on that ball with 2 strikes. He cut his strikeouts down to, you know, 40 or 50 over a year. You're going to have maybe a 300 hitter. Hopefully we have us a Gold Glover.
Time is called.
Hey, they could have 2. Odubel's apparently his metrics rate out as the top center fielder in the National League. Yep.
And you wonder, the coaches are the ones that vote on it around the league. You wonder if they will take a look at that, you know, the metrics. But you know, from Freddie's standpoint, the metrics don't put him at the top, but his fielding percentage, total chances, all those other, the basic ones put him at the top.
Well, with Freddie, I think it's an eye test.
Yeah.
Who won the Gold Glove in center field last year?
Ender Inciarte, who's pretty good from the Braves. I mean, we're spoiled because we do watch it every day. Yeah, we watch Odubel go gap to gap. And he runs down baseballs as good as anybody that we've seen. Check swing. And 2-2.
You know, it looks to me like Freddie might have adopted a little bat on the shoulder approach, you know, that Matt kind of coaches, which he did with Aaron Altair and Tommy Joseph. Watch Freddie kind of lay it on his shoulder right there. And he used to kind of, you know, wiggle it around real high, right?
Mm-hmm. Over the head of Juan Samuel.
He may feel he may feel quicker to the ball. Now that was a short, quick stroke right there, John.
Yeah, he seems like Freddie's making that conscious effort. Remember, he was hitting 8th, and it was a big uppercut, try to lift everything, try to hit home runs, hit for power. He could be so much more valuable to his team. I said it yesterday. If he hits 270, 275 with the way he plays defense, you know, if the Phillies ever become a championship team, that's an MVP candidate because of the way he can defend.
Smith in foul territory makes the catch. Phillies leave one in scoring position. We have played our first 3 innings here at Citizens Bank Park. Phil's without a hit. They've had a couple of base runners. We'll be back right after this. Form of lost working hours by ordering the Fellows Aeromax Pro Air Purifier. It cleans the air of toxins and allergens and clears the air for your employees. Literally, nobody does it better than who? But W.B. Mason. Alumni weekend. The alums from Holy Cross are here as well, as Greg Murphy is signing autographs in the Hall of Fame Club. Where's the Bull? Where's Bull?
How much you figure Murph had to pay those people? Serious.
They were out there for a long time waiting for him.
Matt doesn't miss a trick, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Murph.
Yeah.
Tell us your relation with those people. Cousins.
So that one, the little kid was my cousin.
Right.
And the older gentleman was my brother. My whole family's in that line.
Where were the rest of the Holy Cross alums? Where was Ryan Lazinski?
I didn't see Ryan.
Where was Joe Hudson?
Didn't see Joe.
Where was Keith Garagoza?
You can go through my entire class. I did see Bull. He's in there.
Did he remember who you were?
No, I reintroduce myself every time I see him.
You know the story about Murph and Bull, right?
Everybody in the Delaware Valley knows the story.
Let me refresh
go ahead,
it.
John.
Let me hear it, bro.
Greg Luzinski was helping coach the baseball team at Holy Cross.
He was the head coach.
He was the head coach. Murph tried out for the Holy Cross team, and Bull cut him.
Ooh. You got some of the story correct there, John.
So what's the real story, Murph?
Well, the real story is he was the head varsity coach.
Right.
I played on the JV team. By the time I got to the point where I could be on the varsity team, I sat the bench for a little bit, and then I did not make the team my senior year. So, yeah.
Ooh. Isn't that getting cut?
I'm over it, to be honest with you.
If you don't make the team, isn't that getting cut?
Yeah, I got cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were your shortcomings as a baseball player?
He was short.
Hitting and fielding, throwing.
1-3 on the putout. Reyes is retired.
What's your career average, Murph?
My career average probably about 220.
220, 221, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
You probably,
I was a really good teammate, though.
You're probably a good
were.
power hitter, I guess.
Did a lot of damage in it with that 220, though.
Yeah, I did.
So Bull remembered you, I guess, from those days. No. Tom shaking his head.
No.
No, that's the best part. Bull couldn't even remember.
I did have to remind Bull about all of that when I first started working with him again. Yeah, he didn't remember that.
So you went from signing autographs for your adoring fans to just being ripped for an inning, for a half inning.
That's why I have this job. That's what it's all about.
You know, Murph, if we didn't talk about you the way we do,
yeah,
it's just out of love. That's all.
I know, John.
90% of the
I love
time.
you too.
Yeah, there's really no ill will. There's some hatred, but there's no ill will.
We kid you because we love you.
That's right.
I signed your name just like you told me to, John. So
there you go.
We're all happy.
No balls and 1 strike to Cespedes, who popped out his first time up. And he grounds that one foul. 0-2. Solid technique on that ball off the half wall.
Cespedes has missed some games this year.
Yes, he has.
275 plate appearances.
Yeah, he is.
He's almost 150, right? But missed 150 plate appearances.
Yeah, that's sort of that, and obviously the pitching injuries, but that and the pitching injuries is what's pulled the Mets out of any kind of contention. I mean, coupled with the fact that the Nationals just ran out and left everybody else in their dust.
Just think about where the Nationals would be right now if their bullpen first half of the season, their bullpen was just awful. They've kind of rectified that with Doolittle and Matson. And
tell you what, he just was on that curveball right there that kind of broke over the middle of the plate. Like they fell down trying to hit that thing in the upper deck. Aaron got away with one right there.
Foul again. Glenn Sherlock's got to do some dancing again. Time now for our State Farm best combo. State Farm here to help life go right. And against the Mets, that's why we're surprised that Cabrera wasn't playing in the first game. He came in late in yesterday's game, had a couple of hits. These guys have 27 hits combined and 6 home runs against the Phils this year. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cespedes.
Johnny, in our day, especially before us, guys swing like that at home plate, you might command a little ball up at his chin. What do you think?
I didn't risk it. I tried to stay on balance as much as I could.
Curveball hit in the air to left field. That is well hit, and it's not coming back. Solo home run for Cespedes. His 14th homer of the year. And the Mets take a 1-0 lead. It is remarkable that just about all of their runs, all but 2 of their runs in this series have come on home runs.
Well, that's exactly what he was trying to do with every swing. Here we'll see it. Ball's launched straight up. I know some people that like that launch angle, John. A term I can't stand. But it was launched straight up and came straight down about 20 rows back.
That is the 25th home run of the year for the Mets against the Phils. The 18th here at Citizens Bank Park. As Conforto takes outside. I don't know. It's amazing. I mean, that all of their runs. I mean, they are the leader in the National League in home runs. They now have 172 home runs.
It's amazing, especially the ballpark they play in. Their home games. Probably one of the biggest around, isn't it?
It was. They moved the fences in a couple years ago, didn't they, T-Man?
They did.
A couple years ago, because
it's still a pretty big yard, but yeah. I'm trying to think, because obviously they also moved in the fences in San Diego. That was a big ballpark.
San Francisco's still
out to right center field, left center field, yeah. But I think it's 98 of their home runs have come on the road, which isn't a huge split considering they have 172 overall. Two-two pitch. Just trying to get that two-seamer. He just, on a couple occasions, has not gotten it to the lefties. Cespedes now with 14 home runs against the Phils.
Good spoil swing right there. Pitch by Nola up in strike zone. You take a full swing at that, you're going to miss it.
Asdrubal Cabrera was trying to throw that foul ball Conforto just hit up to some fans. Apparently he didn't realize there was netting there.
Safety.
And it hit the netting and came back at him.
A bouncer right side. Tommy Joseph picks it and takes it to the bag. 2 outs.
Good pick by Tommy. He had to go in and get that on the short hop. Right, John? You old first baseman?
Yeah, you know, Larry Bowe's been trying to work with Tommy on footwork and getting, you know, some sort of rhythm. You know, getting in, you know, starting back a little deeper, take a step or two in to get in a set position, but get his feet moving. That was a great read by Tommy. Easier play when it's on that short hop than it is if he backs up and tries to catch it backing up on a longer hop. You get that in between when if you don't get back far enough, you can get an in between hop that's really tough, especially with all that top spin that Conforto had on that one.
Asdrubal Cabrera flying out to left his first time up. And he pulls that one right at Tommy Joseph. So a run scores on the home run by Cespedes. We'll move to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Mets 1 and the Phillies nothing. You buy Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota. Let's go places. And buy Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. Phillies trail at 1-0, and part of the reason why they've struggled against the Mets this year is because of the long ball. Now they've been out-homered by the Mets 94-38 since the start of the 2015 season. The Mets have won 5 straight here. They've out-homered them 18-4 this season. Isn't it amazing? I mean, I know it's cyclical. I mean, what comes around goes around. But that is some domination.
You know, again, a lot of that, you look at who the Mets have been firing out there since 2015. Syndergaard, DeGrom. You know, Harvey's been in and out, but you know, he missed that 1 year completely. But you know, they've had some really good pitchers.
Very good point.
And you know, we all know that the last couple years our pitching hasn't been a strong suit. It's been a struggle trying to, you know, put together a rotation, trying to figure out, you know, can this young guy pitch in the big leagues?
1 ball, 1 strike to Odubel. 1-2, change up. Yeah, I guess that's, I mean, that is definitively the reason. It's two totally different stats.
Their pitchers have been better than ours.
Outside 2-2. It's remarkable, though, on paper. We saw this with the Phillies several years ago. They had all these great arms, and injuries have made it sort of a jigsaw puzzle for them to get all those arms together.
Well, they had so many arms. You talk about the Mets,
Yeah.
right? They had so many arms. They traded some arms. Philip Fulmer has been. Wasn't he Rookie of the Year last year for the Tigers?
They got Cespedes for him.
Yeah.
Outside, 3-2. Rhys Hoskins on deck.
Got to get Big Rhys his first hit. Here.
Yeah, we got some firsts on the line here coming up. I feel it.
Odubel pulls it up the first base line, and Dominic Smith will tag him out.
That's a big man if you want to try to run into him.
You've worked really hard for your home and your car, so why not give them the protection they deserve? A State Farm agent is here to help with the right home and auto coverage and discounts too. Talk to a Philadelphia area State Farm agent or call 800 State Farm.
Rhys just missed that pitch his first time up. He had a 2-strike count on him.
Yeah, that's same thing last night. He just missed the pitch.
A nice line drive to right field too. You know, everybody you talk to is very high on Rhys Hoskins. He's a wonderful young man.
Players were joking with him yesterday when they saw he was in the cleanup spot. Cameron was calling him Hero. There goes the hero. And Rhys is like, popped up foul, and it's 1-1. His family is here again.
You know, coming to the big leagues, you know, I remember when I did, the word relaxation wasn't anywhere near me.
Oh gosh, no.
And you know, you have to be relaxed to hit. You have to have slow feet, fast hands. You got to try to let the game slow down, which it does when you get a few hits and get confident. But you know, like that move right there by Rhys, you know, that's a sign of being over anxious, right? You know, he's had a lot of check swings in his first 6-7 at bats. I mean, John, a check swing is like you're starting everything early and
unsure.
Yeah, you're worried about the ball getting by you. You're trying so hard to get those zeros, those first at bat, or excuse me, first hit, first home run, first double, first everything.
2-2 pitch to Hoskins, and he hits it towards shortstop, backhanded by Rosario, who jumps and throws in time. That's a heck of a play. That's just the tip of the cap right there. His actions are quick, and even to get enough on that one-hop throw.
Well, the old right-handed hitter has a tough time getting out of the batter's box when he takes a full turn on a ball. What are they screaming? Run, 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 run!
Beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it.
Two very similar hitters here, Rhys Hoskins and Tommy Joseph, back-to-back in the lineup.
Tommy pops it up foul off the first base side. And back into the seats.
How many did you go? How many at bats did you go before you got your first?
John, I can't remember, to tell you the truth. I might have gotten it my first game. I don't know. We got old Carl over here. You should be asking him, not me. I played my first game. I got my first hit off a pitcher called Jim McAndrew with the New York Mets. My first home run off of Baylor Moore with the Montreal Expos, and then Montreal Expos. But I don't know whether that was my first game or not. It was a crappy little ground ball to the right of the shortstop. Snuck into left field.
You did get your first hit in your first game. Oh, 2 pitch coming to Joseph. Swing and a miss. Change up. That gives us a couple of minutes to check it out and confirm it. Phillies go down in order in their half of the fourth. We'll move to the fifth inning. 1-0 Mets on top. It's Toyota Phillies Alumni Day and the Wall of Fame card pack given out to all fans coming to the game thanks to Topps. Visit Phillies.com for more information and to get your tickets for tomorrow's finale. Zach Eflin will make the start for the Phils, coming off a nice outing his last time up. All right, Michael, we've gotten to the bottom of it. You got your hit in your second at bat, your first game. It was in the hole at shortstop. And your first home run came in your third game, September 16th, 1972.
Now that Baylor Moore actually had a scoreless inning record going at the time.
You took care of that.
Not no more.
He was a left-hander, which I used to love.
Dominic Smith got his first major league hit yesterday. Had 151 hits in AAA before his call up.
151, that's a lot of knocks.
Yeah. 151 hits in 114 games.
Wow. It's John Kruk territory right there.
Greg Castriota asked me, what would it take? Look how easy he makes that look.
It's like,
no
it's
big
like he's
deal.
playing softball on Sunday afternoon.
Maybe one day. One away for Darno.
Ho hum.
What did Castriota say to you?
He asked me, what would it take for me to go take some swings? I said, what do you mean? I said, half of what the Phillies ownership's worth plus a plane. And then I'd think about it. I don't want to hit no more. What do I want to do that for?
No celebrity softball games or anything for you?
No, I'm good. My kids, I coach a girls who asked me to hit one day.
How do you do with fungo?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't coming at me. I hit in the fantasy camp. Last year was the first year I didn't hit. I said I can't. But I used to get hit. They throw it at me and I couldn't move. I just try to find a spot where it would hit you where it wouldn't hurt too bad.
Well, one pitch is in there, 0-2.
We sit up here and watch these guys from the center field camera and think we can hit. Well, I mean, you know, we talk about hitters like, how can he not swing at that? How can he take that? You got to do this. You got to do that. If we had to walk down there and sit on the side with Aaron Nola on the mound. Every time he let go of the ball, I'd duck.
I would think his curveball would make any
make me
mortal
duck.
person just freeze or run out of the way.
I sat down there. Yeah, watch this. Yeah, hit this. No, we're good. Hey, if Darno can't hit it, I know I could. But I sat down there one game with John Middleton, and I forget who was pitching for the Arizona, and it looked like he was throwing 190 miles an hour.
Rosario, a check swing foul ball. When was the last time you picked up a bat, Mike?
I haven't swung a bat, a real bat, at a pitch ball, probably for. And when I did, it would have been a batting practice ball. 8 years, 9 years.
You have people ask you. I get asked like, "Oh, you still go in the cage and hit?" Like,
yeah, I might when I'm demonstrating something, might let somebody flip a ball.
No, just
at
for
me.
fun.
Oh, for fun.
I said, what fun would that be? Sting your hands again. Your thumb starts swell. Why would I want that again?
Hurt your back. Your reactions. Well, I'll tell you what. You want to feel old, just see what your reactions are when you're trying to swing at a baseball.
10 pitches for Nola, all 10 pitches strikes. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 1-0. Mets on top of the Phillies. Time now for our Citizens Bank minor league report. Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phils. Lehigh Valley lost to Charlotte 5-2 yesterday. Scott Kingery had a couple more hits. Reading lost to Richmond. Cord Sandberg a home run, 3 hits overall. Clearwater lost to Lakeland. Zach Green had a home run. And Lakewood defeated Delmarva. Derek Hall just continued to mash. 23 home runs. Tonight, Lehigh Valley leads Charlotte 4-2. Scott Kingery has a base hit. He's now hit 11 straight and has hit safely in 27 of his last 28 games. Kid really has had a heck of a year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know what he's going to do the last couple weeks of the season before the playoffs, but he's going to walk away, and maybe he's up here in September, but he's going to walk away thinking, well, that was a really productive 2017. I mean, it's a solid year.
Solid
I
year.
would guess so.
The thing is, too, he really didn't have a lull when he went from AA to AAA. Who were we talking to? Charlie Manuel was talking about today. We were in the coach's room, and Larry Ball was around, and Matt Stairs, and Sarge was in there, and we were talking about.
That's the first hit of the night for the Phils, an infield hit. All Reyes could do was barehanded and possibly throw Williams out.
But they were talking. The discussion went to Kingery, and Charlie has seen him play. You see the play by Reyes come in and try to barehand it. Probably the only play he had against the speed of Nick Williams. But Charlie was talking about Kingery, and he said that that boy's going to hit up here too. He said there's no doubt in his mind that he's going to be a above average hitter in the big leagues when he gets here.
By the way, that was a pretty cool roundtable you guys were having. I mean, you had Charlie, as you mentioned, Snaresy, Bo, as that ball's ripped in the left, a base hit. Back-to-back singles.
Yeah, that's when Charlie started telling Tony Oliva's story.
But Mickey was there, Sal Hall was there.
Yeah.
And then Tommy came in about 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
Michael Franco jumped on a first pitch fastball. Good to see that. Line drive to left field. Got a little something going here. 2 men on, no outs.
All right, well, here's Cameron Rupp.
Cameron needs to get a strike, a fastball strike, and try to do some damage with it. He's been taking the strikes and swinging at the balls early in the count to get behind in counts. His last handful of games, you got to get something in the zone and put a good pass on it.
Like the slider right there that we were talking about in the outset.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. That old backdoor get me over slider from a left-hander to a right-hander. You tend to quit on it when it starts off the plate outside.
Oh, 2.
Well, that's what that get a ball to hit, John. That's what that uppercut at that high fastball will get you right there.
A lot of swings and misses. Yeah, Charlie was talking about that about Nick Williams. He said when Nick gets his hands up and makes a more level swing, he said, you know, he'll hit that pitch above his waist, but when he gets that little dip going, he said there's no way.
Let it hit you. Well, you know, it's innings like this where you got something going, 2 men on, nobody out, where contact, just contact, especially to the opposite field, why the hitter can make big things happen in the inning. Booney and I had a nice chat about hitting yesterday. It doesn't take long to get into the chatting about hitting when you're with Booney. We were riding to a boys club event together. Cameron stays alive, and he said, and we were talking about Daniel Murphy, the second baseman for the Nationals.
Yeah.
And all he does is just pick his toe up and put it down in the same spot, keeps his hands back, and he can deliver the bat to the ball in 0.2 of a second. And it takes 0.4 of a second for a fastball to get from the mound to home plate. You can get the bat to the ball if you're willing to go short and quick at the ball in 0.2 of a second.
How do you buy into that? You know, not having.
Well, most hitters don't.
Yeah. Bryce Harper tried it for a while.
Daniel Murphy does it. I think the first baseman for the Cardinals is a similar hitter.
Matt Carpenter.
2-2
to Rupp. He hits a foul. Way off to the right. There's Levy signing some autographs in the Hall of Fame club.
Yeah, Levy's. I saw him get out of the car with Booney after walking 18 holes today. Booney looked like a spry young man compared to the spry young man that is Mike Lieberthal.
He only played 18, huh?
Levy told me he was dying. They had to walk.
Well,
it was muggy.
If you're going out there to play, you know you're facing that. You know you have to walk out there.
That's why I didn't play. They asked me to play. I said, ain't no way.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was right in the wheelhouse right there.
Yeah, he knows it too. He just flipped the bat away in anger. Conforto is under it, makes the catch. And 1 out here in the 5th inning.
Whoa. Wow. Now I'm telling you, if you have it in your mind to drive that ball right back at that pitcher, you're probably going to hit a line drive.
Did you see, if we could go back and show that, you see how his front shoulder raised up? I mean, as soon as that shoulder raises up, the back one has to come down, and that's why you get underneath those balls. Watch his back shoulder. Watch it how it just drops. See how that dropped? I mean, it dropped right into here. If he keeps that up like you used to do with that strong back arm and drive through that pitch with the left arm.
Well, I tell you, the king of that kind of swings right here with us tonight, Dick Allen.
Oh, I was telling some of those guys, the current players down there, what Dick used, what, a 38-inch, 40-ounce bat or something.
What was the story you told about Ryan Howard?
Yeah, he gave it to, told Ryan, in a home run hitting contest, Dick used it, and he was in his probably 60s. And he gave it to Ryan Howard. He said, here, check this one out. You should use something like this. Ryan Howard looked at me and he goes, I can hardly swing that thing.
Nola gets the sacrifice. And now runners on second and third with 2 outs.
Nice execution right there.
Speaking of Dick Allen, inducted in 1994. Rookie of the year in 64. Boy, he had himself a heck of a career.
Big book, new book out about Dick right now by Bill Kashadis, one of the local baseball historians. Watch this.
How big is upper
everything about him was unique. Look at you got about 28-inch waist. Tommy Green, basically.
Yeah. But I was telling some of the current players, Daniel Nava and others were down there, and I said, see that man getting ready to walk out? Man, he used like a 38-inch, 40-ounce bat. They looked at me like I was lying to them. They said, well, they don't even make those. I said, they did then. And he swung it.
Use them for lead bats.
Allen finished his career with 351 home runs, a .292 batting average. Cesar takes strike 1.
Well, Dick had a run from the time he played. Well, obviously he was really good. I think he was rookie of the year, right?
64.
He had a run as good as anybody.
As
good as anybody from 64 to, would it be late 70s at some point? I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me right now, but his numbers are very impressive, and they are making a concerted effort right now, a group, to try and get more awareness of Dick's career out in front of the Veterans Committee voter
for the Hall of Fame consideration. He was close the last time.
You start going to these new numbers that they use to analyze players, and Dick Allen's got has an unbelievable career.
912 OPS for his career. And a line drop toward left field. That'll drop in for a hit. One run is in. The whole Franco. It's an RBI single, tied up at 1.
Execution by Nola.
Yeah, that'll add to that percentage of bunting with 1 out. Put runners at second and third.
I believe, though, Nola didn't get him over. Sammy might have sent Nick Williams, but he got to hold Franco because he's not a great runner.
Well, I don't think Cespedes has that good of an arm, does he? Although he was close, but
Cespedes can throw it.
I think the fact that he was that close too. You remember when Cespedes was with the A's, he made that throw from the left field corner on a line
all the way to home.
All the way to home.
Yeah, they compared it to the Bo Jackson in Seattle.
Tough to compare it to that one. Galvis takes high, 1-0.
Hey, you know, you wish some of the current players would just come out early to the ballpark one day. No one's here. Walk out there and just see the Phillies history. Get a feel for what they are a part of right now. Because, you know, I remember when I came over here, you know, I played for the Padres. They'd never won a world championship. And when I came here, you know, Schmidt had just retired, and you just start reading. I started reading about the history of the Phillies.
It's good that you did that.
And, you know, understood, but I was a fan in the minor league, so I knew what they did. And I had an idea, so, you know, when Steve Carlton came in for Steve Carlton night, they had, by the way, Freddie.
How about that? Punching it to right field. A run is in. RBI single for Galvis. The Phils take the lead. It's a 2-1 ball game.
That's beautiful. Got that thing going last night by poking the ball to right field. You chop it enough, it'll jump right over the infielder. But you got to be willing to do it. You have to be willing to stay small, take what the game gives you. Watch this. High pitch. See him swing down on that high pitch?
Yes. Yeah, if his back shoulder dips on that, that's a pop-up to Reyes at second base. But instead, you stay on top of the ball, drive it through, and, you know, like you said, with that big a hole, you don't have to hit it, you know, 100 miles an hour off the bat for it to get through. But, you know, to get back, like, as I'm reading about the Phillies' history and reading about, you know, the Whiz Kids and Richie Ashburn and, you know, those older players, Andy Seminick and guys like that, and then you get to meet Richie Ashburn, you get to hang around with Andy Seminick. Schmitty came back, Lefty would come back, and you know, it was like you had pride wearing the uniform. Like, you know, you didn't want to disappoint them. You know, you didn't want, like, they were at the pinnacle of Major League Baseball in 1980. You wanted to duplicate that, but you didn't want to do anything to, like, disrespect them or you know, have them think, you know, yeah, this guy's not a Philly player. He doesn't hustle. He doesn't play hard.
That's cool that you said that. I mean, that's neat that you did that, though, John. I don't know if that's a common occurrence. As Matz throws out Herrera. 2-run score for the Phils. They not only get their first hit of the night, they get 4. Freddie Galvis and Cesar Hernandez have given the Phils a 2-1 lead as we go to the 6th inning. Philly of the week has turned things around since the last day of May and is doing so in enormous fashion. Over the last 2+ months, Odubel Herrera has batted well over 300, and 45% of those hits have gone for extra bases. He leads the team in hits and has already established career-high marks in doubles and extra base hits with over a month and a half of the season to go. He does it with a flair, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless.
Never gets old. The Fanatic with Baby Fanatic.
Just happen to have a little ATV here tonight.
It's amazing. You go right from Odubel with the double chop to the thighs to the Fanatic and the young one. And then he goes here with it.
I got to say that everybody that was introduced tonight for the Wall of Fame acknowledged the Fanatic. Dick Allen went over and gave the Fanatic a high five.
Yeah, we thought Dick was going off course. I did because I was behind him. I'm like, uh-oh, where's Dick ending up here tonight?
I will say Dick always looked out for the Fanatic and for the grounds crew. He always was visiting with the grounds crew.
Oh, yeah. For sure, and one of the grounds crew, our old Mark Carfagno.
Yeah, Froggy.
As kind of the head of this whole movement to get Dick consideration for the Hall of Fame.
You remember, I remember when I was playing here and they were doing it for Whitey. They had petitions going around, and
it might have been Alan Lewis.
Could have been.
Might have been involved in that pretty heavily. I think Alan Lewis was on the Veterans Committee at the time.
Bouncer back to the mound. Noah's got it. Cool 10. One away. Back to the top of the order. Murph, what do you got going on, buddy?
Well, another alum has joined us. Warren Brewster is here, and it is certainly good to see you, Warren. And welcome back, first of all, to Philadelphia. You spent 6 years in a Phillies uniform, and getting a chance to meet and greet with your old teammates. And I know that's always a lot of fun for you guys.
It's great seeing everybody again. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I do fantasy camp, so I see some guys in January, but now I get to see way more people. Dick Allen, Lefty, people I don't get to see all the time.
When you think back to those days that you played for the Phils, obviously a world championship, what's the best memory that you have? Is it something that happened on the field, or maybe is it something that happened back in the clubhouse?
Without question, Murph, the greatest thing that happens when winning a world championship. You can't beat that. I mean, that's what you play for. You play to win, and that's where I loved playing for the Carpenter family. That's all they cared about. They just wanted to win baseball games and win a World Series, and I was fortunate enough to be on that team.
It's funny because we'll talk to a lot of the guys, and some of them say, you know what, nowadays they don't follow the game like they used to, but you do. You are a baseball fan. Now, first of all, you're a coach, and we'll talk about that in a second, but you watch these guys, and,
yes.
and you enjoy watching the game of baseball.
I love the game. I love sports, period. A basketball nut, football nut, baseball nut. I have been since I was 4 or 5 years old. Yeah, I'm an athletic nut.
What has changed about the game in your mind as you sit and watch the athletes of today, and maybe think back to the athletes of your day? Any big changes in the game of baseball?
Well, to me, the pitchers, they don't have the command that we did in the day. You took a little bit off to throw it over the plate in locations, and I don't see them locating the ball quite like we did. It's more of a power game and trying to hit home runs as a hitter and trying to strike out people as a pitcher.
But we were just talking about the guy that's on the hill for the Phils tonight. You like the way he throws,
yes,
right?
Yes, he's got great command, and he's learning how to pitch, and the success that he's had in the last 10 starts is starting to show. And he could be and is fastly becoming a legitimate number one.
You've never been too far away from the game, and I mentioned that you're a coach now, and
yes.
You're coaching back in your hometown where you
yes.
grew up. Tell us a little bit about that, and what your philosophy is as you teach these young men the game.
Well, I grew up in the Napa Valley. I'm very fortunate. I live in the house that I grew up in. I've lived there now 59 years. And what I do, I teach people to throw strike one. That's what they taught me. I was fortunate. We didn't have a lot of pitching coaches when I was coming through the system. Bob Tiefenauer was our pitching coordinator, and he was the best. He taught us how to pitch and how to play the game the right way. And that's what I try to impress on the kids that I work with today is throw strike one, get ahead, and make pitches.
It seems like a simple concept. Do they always grasp it right away? Because we don't always see that up here, even at the highest level.
No, they don't always grasp it. Yeah, and I think back of when I was that age. I had no clue where the ball was going. I threw it north. I just hope the catcher can catch up with it, So I understand. It's not the simplest of learning the mechanics, but if you're, and that's where I didn't have it at their age. I didn't have a coach. I wasn't fortunate enough to learn the mechanics until I went to Fresno State and played for Bob Bennett at Fresno State. And he taught me a lot. And then coming to the Philly organization, I applied that every 5th day. And then was fortunate enough to get to the big leagues.
Well, it's certainly good to talk to you. Always good to talk baseball with you, Warren. I know you're enjoying tonight, and enjoy the rest of the weekend as well.
Thank you very much, Murray. It's great.
All right, guys, we'll send it back to you in the booth.
There's a man with one of the grit and one of the best sinkers I've ever seen, and he threw it overhand. There's no 3/4 to it or anything. That thing went down about a foot. He could get you a double play anytime he wanted.
And he is probably the one who all the other guys at fantasy camp are the most jealous of, because he still has that full head of hair, man.
Let me pass on to you, Warren, what the guys in the booth are saying. Mike said that you had one of the best sinkers, so he said?
Yeah.
Best sinkers he had ever seen. That's Mike Schmidt. And John Kruk is saying that all the guys at Fantasy Camp are jealous of your full head of hair. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Thanks, Crucky. Thank you, Schmitty. Yeah, it was. I was very fortunate. I was very lucky, and I learned a lot growing up, and I was very fortunate to do what I was able to do.
Well, we were fortunate to watch you as well. We appreciate it. All right, guys. John, back to your head of hair. You got a nice one.
Yeah. I don't know what part he was saying. I was very lucky that he still had the hair or that he had the sinker.
Well, the sinker was in direct correlation to having the hair, because if he didn't have the sinker, the hair might have fell out trying to figure another pitch out. Okay, Cameron took a...
Tommy Joseph knows how that feels.
Yeah, at some point, though, Michael, they're going to have to pitch Cespedes in.
You got to get this guy off the plate a little bit. If you want your curveball to be effective, the ball that starts at his left shoulder, even a ball that starts at his rib cage, breaks over the middle of the plate, you can't continually try to keep everything away from his body. You got to run one up by his chest. You have got to think that occasionally.
That looked like the one, up and in. Can he get it there?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Fans get it.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect pitch.
In the old days,
in the old days, that he's so close to the plate. Look at his hands are at the inside corner, and he gets out of the way properly.
Yeah.
How about doing it again?
Yeah, he got out of the way properly. If that ball does hit him, it hits him in the elbow low. It's not like it's at his head.
Got him.
There you go.
Change up. Cespedes down swinging. Hopefully they figured something out. No runs, no hits, one man left. 6 innings for Aaron Nola. He's allowed 1 run. He allowed it to Cespedes, but then he took care of him to wrap up the top of the 6th. Brought to you by your local Chevrolet dealers. By Jefferson Health, call 800-JEF-NOW or visit jeffersonhealth.org. And by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Well, Hall of Fame weekend, or Alumni weekend, I should say. Phillies are on top 2-1. Some of the memorabilia around the concourse that you can purchase. Some of the autographed memorabilia. Nice shot of Chase. There's a nice shot of Michael. Here's Rhys Hoskins. Hoskins tonight is 0 for 2. He is flied out to left and robbed of what would have been his first major league hit by Rosario at shortstop.
See that? No, still Johnny jumping at the ball.
Yeah.
And He doesn't do that when he's swinging well. You put him back in AAA right now, and it'd be nice and quiet up there with his hands and keep him back.
Yeah, guys throw hard enough. You can't chase it. It'll get there. That's what I always tell kids when they start jumping like that. I said, you gotta wait. It'll get there. I promise. You're not going to stop in midair.
Got a call right there.
Maybe that's the break he needed.
It's when he'll learn in the big leagues to make these adjustments. He'll feel himself jumping at the ball, maybe take a couple of pitches or a pitch anyway with his hands back.
There's a line drive foul. He's had a few of those in his first few games.
That is, a dead ringer for jumping at the ball a little bit, because that's the ball when you're hitting good, you hit it straight away or gap to gap, and that's a fastball basically down the middle. He's so far out in front of it, he pulls it that far foul.
Two balls, two strikes to Rhys Hoskins, leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. Fills up 2-1 in the dirt. 3-2.
You know how I can say all this about Rhys Hoskins? I've been there about 500 times in my career. I know that approach well.
Popped him up. Threw the bat out toward third base. Dominic Smith, he floated a little bit, but makes the catch. Where he tossed the bat.
Yeah, poor bat boy. He's going to get in shape running after that one.
So one away. Tommy Joseph's coming up. Tommy provides us with our Geico quote of the day on Rhys Hoskins' presence. It has nothing to do with that. If playing in the big leagues isn't enough motivation for you, then you're probably not here for the right reasons.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Breaking ball, 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Worst thing you can do as a hitter, one of the bad things, think you can hit everything.
Yep.
Fly ball to right field. Nimmo on the track.
Tommy had a nice pass at that ball. It was a ball high in the hitting zone, and he actually tried to tomahawk it a little bit. It was just too high.
Well, there comes Nick Williams. Williams had the first hit of the night for the Phils, came around to score the first run. And he hits that one foul off the wall in front of the Hall of Fame club. If that went in there, you think any of your friends would have caught that ball?
Oh, you mean up a little higher?
Yeah.
Probably not. They probably caught their share.
Charlie got up. Charlie Manuel got up as soon as the ball hit the wall.
Yeah, unless somebody's got a glove up there, and I doubt very much if anybody brought their glove.
John, did your son bring his glove tonight?
No, I don't think so. Of course, his hands are getting so big he might not need it.
Jim Tomey's there. Maybe he would have grabbed it out of the air.
Where are you seeing these? I can't
see Charlie's flowered shirt.
I don't have my glasses.
Well, I guarantee you Jim's sitting next to Charlie.
There's Charlie.
Here. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see now.
Well, Nick is a very aggressive hitter. Nick Williams.
Yeah, look at Charlie and Big Jim.
And Big Greg.
Well, Greg's out of the hitting conversation. Those two, they're talking about hitting. I bet if you filmed Charlie and put a microphone and said, just tell us about hitting, Charlie.
Nick Williams hit by that pitch. Ooh, in the hand. Thought maybe it got him in the shoulder. He has been on base 3 times tonight. Cespedes had that close pitch from Nola, but This obviously ran farther inside than that. Maybe the wrist.
Yeah, it looked like it caught him like between the elbow and the wrist. Now it looked like I got the hand.
Well, Terry Collins is out. That's it for Matz. He's done after 99 pitches with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And Michael Franco coming in. Jason Bradford, the right-hander, will be the new pitcher. So the Mets have decided to make a pitching change. It's 2-1 Phillies on top here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back. Season with the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season with game day, live game video highlights, radio, broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. Well, Matz's night is done. He's responsible for the runner at first base. Nick Williams on first. It looks like he's okay after being hit by the pitch. Chasen Bradford is in. To face Michael Franco. Swing and a miss at the first breaking ball.
So that was just a red fastball out of the hand and started swinging. Oops, this is a breaking ball.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd like to see Nick take off that first pitch.
Well, Nick does not have any kind of an aggressive lead over there. You know, that's another thing. I mean, in today's game, base running has suffered much. You know, I think it's the attention to it is nowhere near what it used to be. I mean, Nick's a good runner, and his lead probably could go out at least a step and a half more.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, he could probably put his.
He could get right foot by the cutout.
Yeah, his left foot though, where his right foot is on his normal lead. Like right there. Put the left foot.
That's like a pitcher's lead off.
Yeah, put the left foot where the right foot is. You got a half a body length at least.
See, if you can get back that easy on a throw over to first, you need to be another what, 6 feet off.
See the stolen base numbers since 2010. You compare them to the 70s. There's a drop off. Bouncer foul.
Why do we bring that base running thing up? Well, a couple reasons. Ball in the gap. You know, you have a body length more of time to score at home plate on a close play. Michael chops a ball in the infield.
beat it.
Guy throws to second base, shortstop throws to second. You beat the throw. He gets a knock. Keep an inning alive.
Ground ball to shortstop. And Rosario flips to Reyes. Williams is retired. 6-4 on the putout. No runs, no hits, and one man left. We move to the 7th inning. 2-1 Phil's lead. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. The Phils, after falling behind 1-0 in the 4th inning, scored 2 in the 5th. You saw the swings, Hernandez and Galvis. The rest of it has been about Aaron Nola. 6 innings, 2 hits, and 1 earned run. 7 strikeouts. And he'll go to work here in the 7th inning, and he'll face Michael Conforto. He'll start the inning with 90 pitches. Got a curveball outside. Nola, in his time since the 1st of July, has an earned run average of 1.72 coming in. That's second best in all of baseball for qualified starting pitchers to Lance Lynn of the Cardinals, who got hit in the coconut last night with a line drive. Stayed in the game.
Yeah, you talk about, besides basically the year Lance Lynn had to miss, but when you look at numbers of pitchers over the last 5-6 years, he's at the tops on a lot of categories, wins, and but you never hear of him.
No. Inside, ball 4. He just walked Conforto on 4 pitches. And that's the second walk issued. Time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, guys, who had the highest batting average for the 80 Phillies? Minimum of 500 ABs.
Well, it was either Lonnie Smith or Bake McBride.
You have one of the answers, just so you know.
And I'm going to go with Bake because he's probably here tonight, or he is definitely here tonight.
He is definitely here tonight, and you definitely got the answer right.
Yeah.
He hit 309. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of Phillies prize pack.
And there was no cheating, Googling.
Don't you feel good about it that you didn't cheat?
Are you kidding me? Yeah. It's my first one.
It's going to happen though in another year or two. They're going to ask us a question and we're going to be the answer. We're not going to know that.
Tell me about it.
You did it once.
Yeah.
We did do that once, didn't we?
Yeah, the third the two third basemen that have led the league in consecutive years in home runs and RBIs.
Right, that's right.
When we're playing the Rockies, and of course, Nolan Arenado. And
wait a minute, didn't something happen to Nolan Arenado?
He had his 100th RBI.
But he didn't get hurt. Murph was talking about the next guy Murph talked about. I thought was somebody that got hurt, and I thought I read it as Arenado got hurt, but I guess not. I mean, we got a guy with 100 RBIs, and we got a guy with 40 home runs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Giancarlo Stanton. Now, Mark Reynolds got hurt for the Rockies, which is why they signed. Well, one of the reasons why they signed Ryan Howard to a minor league deal.
They did. Sorry, I'm old.
They just did it before you were down on the field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you didn't age that much in a couple hours.
How about that? Ryan Howard back in the postseason or back in the thick of things?
Yeah, minor league deal, so he's going to have a couple weeks before they would call him up.
I wonder if they're going to send him to Colorado Springs. Isn't that where their AAA team is?
You know, it used to be there.
Why would they move it?
Yeah, that's
Wouldn't you
a
want
good
him to
question.
play in
I
the
remember
same
having a conversation with somebody about that.
altitude?
One ball, two strikes to Cabrera. And he hits it foul at home plate. It remains 1-2. Albuquerque, New Mexico.
That's ball travels pretty well there too.
Yeah, they left Colorado Springs in 2014.
Only 3 years late. It's not bad.
No, but it would make sense that they would be an hour away, if that. Carl, who's in Colorado Springs? I mean, that's the question. I mean, who would you have competing with the Rockies? One ball and two strikes to Cabrera. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8 for Aaron Nola.
Big out right there.
It looked like Asdrubal Cabrera was wanting to try to hit that hole, pull that ball in that hole, and Nola didn't let him. The pitch up is a hard one to get on top of to try to hit in that hole.
Dominic Smith has hit 2 balls to Freddie Galvis, who shaded toward the middle. Outside, 1-0. First pitch strikes have been problematic in this inning. Just missing off the outside part of the plate. Is that 100 pitches? It's runs for Radiothon. For every run the Phillies score during the month of August, the Phillies will make a contribution to the Help Our Kids Radiothon, benefiting the Nemours Alfred I. DuPont Hospital for Children. You can find out more at nemours.org.
Aaron's got that great combination. It's sort of like the old Denner-Eckersley combination. The ball's up, it rises. The ball's down, it sinks. Takes good mechanics to get a knock off a Nola.
One ball and 1 strike.
Hustle and bustle in the Phillies bullpen.
Yeah, they have Hobie Milner, who's run up. Pulls it foul again. Colorado Springs, the Milwaukee Brewers AAA affiliate.
Ball flies out of Milwaukee. I guess they want to get him used to seeing balls fly out of the yard.
This has been a heck of a falling out between the Rockies and the Sky Sox.
Got a grounder to second. Big young man, isn't it?
Sure is. He's wearing number 22. Tom Goodwin was wearing that when the series began, but he switched over to 88 when Smith arrived.
What number was he the first?
Goodwin was 22.
Yeah, but what number was Smith? First day.
He wasn't here. Came up yesterday. They switched off.
That's a quick name changes too.
Ground ball to first base. Tommy Joseph has it.
Tommy.
There's one. Galvis to first. Not in time. Tommy Joseph asks them to take a look at it.
Well, we got lucky there. Tommy's got a great arm, but Freddie saved that throw at second base and still turned it to first to make things close.
Yeah, he's safe. And Freddie's done that a lot. In the last week, he's done it a few times, saving our.
Yeah.
One he saved Eflin in Atlanta.
I thought he might have not thrown that ball to first, but he was able to get it off.
The Phillies decide not to challenge it. We showed you the replay, and it was close, but Smith did beat it. All right, so here's Travis d'Arnaud, who has struck out twice tonight. Aaron Nola has 8 strikeouts, or 7 strikeouts or more, in 9 of his last 10 games.
And he's not throwing 98. 91, 92, make it move.
Inside, 1-1.
That's a great pitch right there. Just got to keep that in the repertoire. Got to get the word around the league that you're effectively wild. You're not right around the plate all the time. You lose one every now and then on the inside corner.
Over to third base. Mike Calfanco's got it.
But those hands.
In time to get d'Arnaud. 7 solid innings yet again for Aaron Nola. No runs, no hits. He hasn't allowed a hit since the home run in the 4th. It's time to stretch. Toyota turning point. We go to the Phillies offense here tonight.
Yeah, the dynamic duo of Cesar Hernandez right there driving in the first run to tie this game after Cespedes hit the home run, and then Freddie Galvis going the other way like he has the prior 2 games against these New York Mets to drive in Miguel Franco to put the Phillies up. The dynamic duo, part of our turning point of the game, brought to you by Toyota.
Well, now as we get in the bottom of the 7th inning, it'll be Cameron Rupp. It looks like Kim is out of the on-deck circle. What can you say about Aaron Nola? I mean, this is 2 hits, 1 run in 7 innings, 8 strikeouts for Aaron.
Well, he's one piece to next year's puzzle that we know is a good one. At this point in time, I think we can plan on seeing him on opening day.
Cameron Rupp leads it off, and Bradford delivers strike 1.
Amazing how his season turned around with just one bit of advice from Ray Burris.
Great point. Ray Burris teaching Aaron Nola on the rehab stint to use his lower body, right?
Yeah.
You're not using your lower body. See, that's why we have coaches, and good ones.
It's a good thing that Aaron heeded his advice, because it certainly has helped. Swing and a miss, curveball. Cameron Rupp didn't look like he was seeing it all that well out of the hand of Bradford. So 1 out. Here's Hyun-Soo Kim. 108 pitches, 70 strikes for Aaron.
You're talking about a team that has had the Phillies numbers, not only power, runs scored. Aaron Nola just one mistake to Cespedes, but other than that, pretty perfect.
Kim hitting .217 overall. Those are his numbers as a pinch hitter. 3 for 20. Outside, 2-0.
Hyun-Soo Kim's translator played minor league baseball in the the Blue Jays organization.
He was a catcher and a second baseman.
So you know you're talking about sit out.
Cespedes runs it down for the second out.
You know, you're talking about a guy who, you know, you're going to have to spend pretty much every waking hour with to get by in this country. Hyun-Soo Kim, and to have a guy that actually played, you can talk to, you can run stuff off of him and see what he thinks. That has to be.
It's like a caddy.
Well, it's like living, but it's like, you know, living with the teammate. Back to minor league ball.
Yeah, he played for, Pete was saying, for Darryl Knowles with the Blue Jays organization. 1 ball, no strikes to Cesar Hernandez.
Cesar's batting average up to .293.
Smoker, Ricky Bones right there, former minor league teammate. Padres organization.
Been a pitching coach here.
Ricky.
Bullpen coach for a while.
There, Ricky.
Pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, he was.
Given the "he's ready" sign to the Mets dugout.
Or he's waving the white towel, making Nola's too tough.
They're giving up.
This one's over.
A ball and 2 strikes. Hernandez, RBI singles last time, flied out to center, grounded out to third. Ground ball over to first base. And 3 unassisted will wrap up the 7th inning. Phillies go down in order. An inning and a third scoreless for Bradford. We'll move on to the 8th and into the Phillies bullpen. brought to you by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason? Fast free delivery. Nobody does it better. Phillies lead it 2-1. Time now for a Hyundai defensive play of the game. All right, John, this is the second one for Freddie Galvis.
Yeah, well, Freddie's going to be in a lot of them. You see, they tried to double steal. Cameron Rupp come up throwing. You see Freddie reading it perfectly. He gets out in front of the base. Nice strong throw to Rupp, and Rosario, no chance. And that is a huge play because that is our one-run lead that we have, and that's our Hyundai defense of the game. Brought to you by Michael Jack. Hyundai.
Delaware Valley Hyundai dealer. And that's a nice car. Did I
Here's Ricardo Pinto.
They still haven't contacted you, have they?
They may go to a
What
different
about your
model.
hat? You haven't got your hat?
I haven't gotten a hat. I like hats.
I don't see you in a hat very often.
Because you see me here. I'll see you Monday, right? We'll have hats on then, won't we?
Is your Joe Kruk going to be there?
Yeah, he's here. He just texted me. Said he's at the hotel. He played today at Fieldstone with Daryl Thomas, one of my other knucklehead brothers, and I don't think Daryl's son played. Hans. I don't know who played.
Yep, Johnny likes hats. Look, we're picking out hats here before we got out to the outfield.
Is this the store?
Yeah, one of them.
This is the one that is this the store we're remodeling for next year?
No, that's not the one we're remodeling. That one, the one we were at that you see there, was in right field in the second deck as we were walking out to right center field for that night in the ballpark.
Look at that wad on that guy.
Yeah. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Those hundreds?
I think they were 20s. Might have been a couple singles and some change. Success.
Now that hat looks good.
We really matched it up perfectly. Franco with a fantastic play and a strong throw. One out here in the 8th inning.
Yes, sir. He's shown some good hands on a couple balls tonight, sort of in between hops.
He is engaged defensively.
Whoa.
Man,
nice play, Michael.
That thing looked like it hit the lip and scooted on him, and he stayed with it. See, I had to kind of go down for that ball, but look at his cannon, too. Look at Pinto. Pinto said, we need that leadoff hitter off base.
The fact that Pinto is in here would lead you to believe that either Garcia or Neris are not available. Pinto's kind of leading toward not having Neris available tonight because he did pitch in last night's ball game. Granderson pinch hitting, and that one hits the umpire.
That's got to be fun to sit there for a few hours. That one thrown right at your shin.
Off speed pitch. Every time the Phillies pitchers retired the opposition 1-2-3, which Nola did on several occasions tonight. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Nola's ERA after tonight 1.7 in his last 10 starts. 2-2.
Unique style of hitting right here, John.
Yeah.
Take this stride before he lets go of the ball.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing though, when he was with, when he first got called up, he was aggressive.
Perfect
no patience.
Perfect ballpark for him too.
Yeah, no patience, just swung. And then all of a sudden he comes over here in the last couple of years. He's taking walks. He's Kevin Long with the Yankees really got him to kind of this approach right here. Step, wait, and just use your hands.
Boy, he's beating the heck out of that right leg.
Sure is.
Got a pad on it. I'm a firm believer in no stride hitting. Firm believer in it. You know, we talked earlier about Daniel Murphy. I tell you, that's a way to hit. I'm believing that you can reach any part of the ballpark without a stride.
Yeah, I think if I had to come back right now and someone at 20, 21 or whatever, they're going to put you in the big league, and they said, but you have to have one swing, I think it'd be Murphy. It just doesn't seem like he's ever fooled.
Do you ever worry about not having quick enough hands if you have Murphy's stance? Or,
well, you know, it's also a core. You know, the core is involved as well. I mean, you're not just firing your hands at the ball. You're connected to the rest of your body. You just can't see it visually. You can't see that his core is involved. But
Murphy has explosive hips. Explosive.
the 11th pitch of this at bat, and he lines it.
Whoa, boy.
Well, it's a little after 10 now, and if there are any of you young hitters still awake out there watching this game, listen to what we just talked about. If you want to become a great hitter, try hitting without a stride. Just a little rhythm, move your hips back and forth, and then keep that foot planted.
Ball 4, and Granderson works out the walk.
Tough at bat.
Monday morning wake up with NBC 10 News today with Tracy, Vi, Bill, and Jessica. News, weather, and traffic to get you and your family up and out the door. Weekdays 4 to 7 a.m. Count on it. The cotton candy, man, they were hankering for it. I don't know if she really wanted to give that up.
A little sugar high for those kids when they get home.
And for the guy.
They're going to be rolling up the Jersey Turnpike wide awake, aren't they?
Was that their dad?
I would think so. He needed to stay awake for the drive.
We might have just got one there.
Got a little call there, didn't we?
Wow. That looked like Rupp reached 6 inches outside. It's all right. We'll do a break, aren't we?
About 80. 0-1 to Nimmo. Nimmo walked his last time up. He's 0 for 2. 0-2. Bouncer, foul. And we'll do it again. Nimmo taking a peek down at Glenn Sherlock in the third base coach's box. Granderson leads off first after his walk.
Not sure what sign you can give him. 1 and 2, 1 out. He wants to know if Granderson's running.
What about all these foul balls to these last 2 hitters?
Yeah, it kind of makes it a little worrisome though that he can't get. He gets ahead of guys. He got ahead of Granderson. He gets ahead of Nimmo, and he hasn't been able. He didn't put Granderson away. And Nimmo's battling through this at bat. He hasn't put him away yet.
Two balls, two strikes, 98 on that fastball. The on deck hitter is Reyes. Hobie Milner's been throwing in the bullpen.
We don't get 98 very often on a ball in the dirt.
Well, they told me today that they do it now. Like when Nolan was pitching, it was when it crossed home plate. And now it's when it leaves their hand.
That is correct. Swing and a miss. Threw him a slider that went 91 miles an hour. And there are 2 outs now for Reyes.
Let the ball go down. Nice pitch.
9 strikeouts for Phil's pitching tonight. 2 away. Reyes, who is 0 for 3. Inside him low, 1-0.
How do you like those socks that Reyes has on? Some
like
of the Mets players are wearing with the New York City skyline.
You like them?
I like them. I don't think I would wear them.
I didn't notice the stripes the last time we faced them. Phillies have the red ones, obviously, but it has the Liberty Bell on it. It's a little more subtle than the New York skyline.
Generally, that look right there that we're looking at, I don't think I could pull that one off right there.
Can't go high socks.
Can't go high socks, but I can't go shirt open with a chain around it in the New York. You know, I can't go with that.
Didn't think you could pull it off.
Nope. How about you?
No, I doubt it. No, when you look like this, Michael Jack, you try to cover up as much as you can.
I think he was referring to when you played.
Well, when you look like that, you try to cover up as much as you can.
1 ball and 1 strike to Reyes. Outside 2-1.
You know, you never know whether they feel like it looks good or it's just a lot of stuff. See how much stuff you can get on your body.
Pinto's got some movement.
Yeah, he's got some stuff tonight. Two balls and 2 strikes. Granderson leads off first, a 1-run game. Top half of the 8th inning. And outside 3-2. That'll send Granderson on this pitch. Cespedes is on deck. Not who you want to match up with at any point, but particularly when there's a couple base runners.
Yeah, and we saw it. The home run yesterday, the home run today, but yesterday, you know, that little line drive to right field to drive in another run from third with 2 outs. So Cespedes is he's an RBI guy who doesn't just use home runs to drive them in.
Granderson will take off, and the 3-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 4. All right, so now there's a challenge with runners on first and second. Bob McClure is coming out. Cespedes is coming up. So Mack will go out and have a few words with Pinto. I think this is telling you that there's not a whole lot available tonight in the Phillies bullpen, although Ramos was warming up earlier.
Yeah. And you know, this might be one of those things. Look, you know, you don't want to tell Pinto directly, like, we prefer Hobie Milner against Michael Conforto over this matchup right here. So, you know, let's be careful. See if he can get himself out. If he wants to get himself out, fine. If not, don't give in. And we'll take our chances with Milner against Conforto.
Freddie doing a little translating there for Pinto. Corey Blazer, the home plate umpire, coming out.
It's like the
give him a little more time because they have to use a translator.
All right, we're ready to go.
I tell you what, he overthrew that 3-2 pitch.
Yeah.
Reyes. If there was ever a fastball that had to be thrown right down the middle and take your medicine or get him out one way or the other. But wow, bounce that 3-2 pitch. But then again, it's just like Rhys Hoskins, you know, when you get up here and you're not totally relaxed, anything can go wrong.
So here's Cespedes, the challenge for Pinto. He's homered tonight. He has one of the 2 hits for the Mets. That was their last hit. And the first pitch is in there. It's 0-1. That was back in the 4th inning.
one of the few mistakes Aaron Nola made this whole entire night. It was a breaking ball. Cameron Rupp wanted it down the way. It stayed pretty much center in, and he's not the first one he's hit off that pitch, and ain't going to be the last. So don't throw him at there again.
Popped him up foul, 98 miles an hour, 0-2.
Here's where you don't want that false sense of security, like, all right, I got him 0-2. I'm going to put him away. I'm going to make the greatest pitch in the history of pitches right here and strike Cespedes out. And you make a mistake, you overthrow something, it hangs, and
Rupp wants it up. Better get it up. Got it up. Swing and a miss. 98. Pinto gets out of this 8th inning with 2 strikeouts. He gets the biggest one of them all in Cespedes.
Good call by Darren Rupp, making him throw it up there, and good job by Pinto, putting it right in the glove.
2 men left. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Bills up 2-1. Friday, August 25th. It's part of a weekend that will feature 2 night games and a day game. Sunday the 27th, 1:35 first pitch at ShopRite Back to School Alarm Clock. Free to kids 14 and under. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. It's 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. That's the poster that was given out before the start of today's ball game. Watch this this placement by Rupp, where he wants it and where Pinto throws it. Perfect. At 98 miles an hour.
Yes, sir.
And then in the dugout, look at all the talking that's going on. You got
Well,
Williams and Nava, Rupp and Pinto. On the far end, you had Ty Kelly and Hoskins going over Eric Goodell.
And we don't know who Odubel's talking to.
Well, I know one thing. Daniel Nava is doing some serious coaching right there, and that's
Sure
a great
is.
thing to see. He's a veteran player.
Well, Freddie Galvis leads it off against Eric Goodell. Galvis is 1 for 3. He has an RBI single. He's lined out, and he is popped out. And it looks like it is Garcia that will close. He is warming up in the bullpen. Oh, and 2. Johnny, did you buy your 50-50 ticket for tonight?
I don't know. My family's here, so I told them to do it. They did. They bought them yesterday and came up a little empty.
$18,070 to the
Yeah,
winner.
I hope they won.
$18,070.
Of course, if they did, they could be out of town by now. Who knows?
They could have won and just didn't tell you.
Yeah. 37 in the pot, huh?
Yeah.
18,000 to Phillies charities.
Correct.
That's a good thing.
I wonder if you're allowed to do that at like high school.
There are certain restrictions per state, but you can get a license to do it.
That would be a great moneymaker. You would think for a school like basketball game, football game.
501c3, John.
Oh, we'll look into that.
2 and 2, but for Major League Baseball, there are a lot of teams that are starting to do it. We did it in the minor leagues when I was there, and it's a nice way to raise some money, and it's also a nice way to have somebody walk away with a pretty good prize too.
Try to get the people that made the socks for the Mets, the Stance company, they're called Stance. See if they'll make some Hunter Green ones with stingrays on them for my softball team.
That could be a fundraiser too. People would buy them.
Yeah.
3-2 to Galvis. Outside ball
Freddie.
Base runner for Odubel Herrera, who's got a hitting streak on the line. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. Time for our unlimited baseball break presented by T-Mobile. The Yankees are losing another big part of their roster. Right-hander Masahiro Tanaka headed to the DL with a bad shoulder. They say some inflammation in that shoulder. No structural damage. They don't think he's going to miss a whole lot of time. They're hoping that it's just the 10 days. They say he just needs a little bit of rest. Comes one day after they had to put CC Sabathia on the disabled list with a bad knee. And you guys talked about Giancarlo Stanton earlier in this game. Yeah, he had 40 home runs. Now he has 41. He hit a 3-run home run tonight. That is his 20th homer in 32 games. Also his 100th home run at Marlins Park. And he is one shy of the Marlins franchise record that Gary Sheffield holds. That's 42. He has 41 with, what, a month and a half still to play? I think he's probably going to get that franchise record. But he is red hot right now, guys.
He sure is. He cooled off the Rockies a little bit, too, with their win today.
Come on, Odubel, get that hitting streak extended.
Yeah, Odubel's at 14 straight. He's 0 for 3. He's got 3 groundouts. And he hits that one foul off the netting and into the Mets dugout. It's
I remember watching Stanton against the Phillies and noticed shortly after the All-Star break, didn't he close his stance?
Yeah.
He used to have a little open stance and he closed it up.
Yeah.
And 20 home runs in 30 games.
Well, he hit 16 of them against us in that 3-game series, it seemed like. Yeah, he's kind of getting a little bit of George Hendricks in him. Remember George? You played against George, right? With the
well, there's a unique old individual right there. He actually started this style, didn't he? That long pants style.
Long pants, yeah. But he was drastically closed. I mean, his back was almost to the pitcher.
Oh, he had that top hand too. You know, remember George used to kind of hit the Dick Allen sort of swing. Swung down on the ball. He had some crazy stuff down to third base now.
Was it hard to pick up because he was so close? Did you pick up the ball off his bat very well? Looky there, baby.
Little looper in the center. Freddie's around second, heading to third. He'll get there. The hitting streak is at 15 games for Odubel Herrera. It's a career high, and the Phils have first and third with nobody else.
Just served it out there. That's beautiful hitting. A lot of his hits have come sort of off balance and just kind of throwing his hands at the ball.
Yeah, it's like Charlie said. He said it don't matter if you're on balance or not if your hands stay back. Look how his hands stayed back. He just reaches out, flips that ball into center field.
I'll tell you, that's an excellent point, John. If your hands stay back.
Yeah. That's what I always tell kids. If your hands stay back, you got a chance. No matter if you stride toward home plate, toward the pitcher, or you open up a little bit. If your hands are back, you got a chance.
So first and third, Rhys Hoskins is up.
Come on, Rhys, get your first knock. First ribby, first knock.
Fouls it off to the right. Nice grab in the Hall of Fame club. Two, fouled it at home plate.
Looks like he's getting a little over aggressive, Michael.
Yes, he is. Maybe he can throw one in here somehow with 2 strikes.
Swing and a miss. So Hoskins strikes out. And one away. Tommy Joseph is coming up. Some big insurance runs over there. One at third, one at first.
Well, Rhys swung at 2 bad balls there. A little over aggressive, like we've been talking about. The 0-1 pitch. Of course, the 0-2 pitch as well.
Odubel is back. Kobe Milner has joined Luis Garcia in the bullpen.
He's got to figure that, you know, with the lefty Conforto, switch hitter, and Cabrera, and his lefty and Smith, that Hobie Milner might get a chance if he can go 1-2-3 to close this game out.
I don't know. I think thought he was stumbling, but I think he thought he may have dropped that ball. Kind of an awkward grab at it.
Yeah, you need to pick this one up here. 2 runs is much better than 1-run lead.
Oh, man, he crushed that one. Foul into the sweep.
Yeah, you want to go into that bottom of the 9th inning where one mistake's not going to tie the game up.
Yeah, every hitter comes to the plate's a tying run with the 1-run lead.
And you know, they have power coming with Conforto, Cabrera, and Smith.
In the air to left field. Going back is Cespedes. This should get the run home. He makes the catch. Here comes Galvis. It's a sac fly for Tommy Joseph. A job well done. It's a 3-1 lead for the Phils.
Guys got the job done. Goodell was splitter. Tried to get that splitter down and in, similar to the pitch he struck Hoskins out with. He got it up a little bit, and Tommy kind of got the head on the ball and just missed a home run.
That's what I like about Freddie right there. Yeah, he knows Odubel's on first. Odubel tags and goes to second, and he's jogging home thinking there's no way they're going to throw home, and Odubel gets thrown out. Freddie doesn't score.
Galvis dives back.
Uh-oh. I think Odubel was leaning a little bit right there.
Freddie Galvis got it rolling with the walk.
You know, how many times have we said it about our pitchers? Leadoff walks kill you. Leadoff walk right there to Freddie gets us an insurance run.
Hits in his first 35 games, the most by a Philly player since Jimmy Rollins had 40 hits in his first 35 games. Pretty good company.
Let's see, get one more.
Only thing Nick needs to do is kind of tighten that hitting zone up a little bit. You know, he is a really aggressive hitter, and that's going to get around the league. But he is that.
Susceptible right now to the high fastball and off-speed pitches. Turn him loose.
Sure, why not? I'm a big 3-0 swing the bat guy, especially with 2 outs. But I'm sure Nick probably isn't used to it.
Ball 4.
Probably couldn't get him to look down to the coach and get that sign. He figured he's always had to take 3-0.
Want the most accurate forecasts? Count on the team that gets it right. Count on NBC 10 First Alert Weather. Erica, Glenn, Tammy, Bill, and Crystal rated most accurate for your neighborhood. All right, so Worthen's conversation is over with. Michael Franco is the hitter.
Franco's been aggressive with that first pitch, so I'm sure that was something that Dan Worthen was telling Goodell. You know, don't just try to. I know you just walked a guy, but you just try to throw something, a BP fastball to get ahead. Franco could jump you at first pitch.
That's right. He waved at 2 sliders in the last at bat. First 2 pitches.
Odubel getting in a dance contest with Reyes. 1 ball, no strikes to Franco.
We just got to keep from getting over aggressive on this 1-0 pitch because you know he's looking fastball.
Fly ball down the left field line. Rosario is there, and he makes the catch. Boy, he had to cover a lot of ground to get there.
Forgot how many outs there were.
Yeah, he was looking to turn and fire to see if he can double somebody up. A run does score on the sac fly by Tommy Joseph. We'll go to the 9th. The Phillies are on top 3-1 over the Mets. 25th when the Phillies take on the Washington Nationals. That's a 7:05 first pitch. It's Beatles night here at the ballpark. Go to Phillies.com/theme nights for more information and to order your tickets. You can celebrate the music and history of the Beatles here at the ballpark. By the way, it's Alumni Weekend here at Citizens Bank Park, brought to you by Toyota. And boy, do we have an alum to talk about tonight. We want to wish a very happy birthday to Ida Spalding, who has turned 105 years old today.
Woo.
Ida, continued health and happiness.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That is incredible.
She lives in Riddle Village, Delaware County. She's been a fan since the Whiz Kids, not the Wheeze Kids, the Whiz Kids in 1950. Well, I'm sure she's a fan. She was a fan of the Wheeze Kids too. Hobie Milner.
That covers a lot of decades of Philly baseball, doesn't it?
That is incredible. Michael Conforto is 0 for 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. By the way, we mentioned the Nationals. Bryce Harper had to leave a game tonight. We don't know what the extent of the injury is, but
you hope it's just the hyperextension like Camargo for the Braves when he was running out to. Did you see that one, Michael?
No.
Shortstop was running out to start the game, running out to his position, and he was going to jump over the line and hyperextended his knee, and he dropped right by first base, and they had to help him off the field for the first game.
To jump over the line.
Conforto down the left field line. Hoskins long run. Franco long run. Foul territory. Franco makes the basket grab over the shoulder. Boy, he's putting on a clinic defensively tonight.
Yes, he is. We're showing some serious D. He's just trying to show up his little buddy Freddie. Had 2 great stops at third base on in-between hops. Went a long way for this ball. Yeah, watch him. Watch it in your glove, Michael. We know Freddie over there. He's on the other side of the field.
Well, it's an excellent play for the first out. Hobie Milner will now face Asdrubal Cabrera. Luis Garcia is still on top of the mound in the Phillies bullpen. Over to third. Past the diving Franco.
He comes up with that one, man. Where you?
Well, that's the beauty of that second run, guys. You know, they're getting that 2-1 or that 2-run lead, 3-1 rather than 2-1.
Just past his glove. Pete McCannon's coming out.
Pete's going to double switch it now that Wilmer Flores has been announced as the pitch hitter for Dominic Smith.
So he'll bring in Luis Garcia to pitch. Luis will fire one more pitch and then come into the ball game. So a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. Andres Blanco will check in for Franco. We'll be back right after this. and Love an Everyday Tour will take place Friday, September 8th here at Citizens Bank Park. Tickets are still available. They're going fast. Go to Phillies.com/Luke Bryan. Special guest Brett Eldridge, Craig Campbell. One of two concerts that'll be here at the ballpark.
I got to figure out if I'm going to come, if I'm going to be here.
John's going to throw batting practice.
You want me to throw batting practice to Luke Bryan? The problem is, if you throw good BP, someone's going to tell the Phillies, and they say, hey, when we need a left-handed BP,
you're the man.
Can you imagine next year in like July, if they say, can you come throw to a couple groups? I wouldn't stop sweating until after the game was over.
Are you able to do that? You can go out.
Yeah, I throw BP to my son and some of the high school kids at the school.
0-1. How's your arm feel when you throw BP?
Good.
Yeah?
Short arm, real short. Throw from like 20 feet.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all they want nowadays, Mike.
Now I throw from probably where the dirt of the mound starts, where the grass and the dirt meet.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Not
Good
much
play.
on it.
Good play, Cameron. Kept double play in order.
Yeah, this is where we need Luis. Luis has been struggling lately. And got a nice clean inning. One of those would be good too. A little double play.
Got a little something on his hat there.
Yeah, so Luis
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Luis and Hector Neris' agents. They share an agent. His 3-year-old son passed away suddenly, and so that's what Luis's agent's son, 3-year-old son, and Hector.
Yeah, he and Hector both have the rest in peace.
Much too bad.
So they were at the funeral yesterday. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Flores. Runner at first. In the dirt.
Another great play.
Tell you what, Cameron's kept the double play in order twice in this inning. We had the one with the pass ball on the strikeout from Nimmo that he reached first base and went first and third, and you thought, oh boy, you know, but Aaron Nola helped him out, got him out of that inning.
Swing and a miss. 2 outs.
97.
Yeah, a little high cheese.
Up in the zone. Hard to hit unless you get your hands up.
Two outs, and Travis d'Arnaud is next up.
Blanco and Freddie talking as they move Blanco over a little bit to guard the double with 2 outs.
Hot shot towards second. 1 hot. Hernandez got it. Straightens up, throws to first in time, and the ball game is over. The Phils have finally defeated the Mets. They didn't necessarily keep them in the yard. The Mets still had 1 home run, but they win it 3-1 as Aaron Nola pitches a gem over 7 innings, and the bullpen takes care of the rest. In the 9th inning, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Well, this was a crisp, clean ball game and a much-needed victory for the Phillies and for Aaron Nola, who's now 9-7 with an earned run average that is just a hair over 3. Our deliveries of the game, we go back to Cesar Hernandez and Freddie Galvis.
Cesar Hernandez gets an outside fastball and hooks it into left field for a knock. And then Freddie Galvis with 2 strikes. It's that new swing he's got where he keeps that ball out of the air, takes it the other way for an RBI.
Well, those are our WB Mason deliveries of the game. Freddie Galvis is down on the field with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, offense was hard to come by tonight for both teams, but you come up with the big hit in the 5th inning. Take us through that at bat. Obviously trying to punch something the other way. You were able to do it.
Yeah, I think Cesar, he put a pretty good at bat too. He bring the first run, and then he threw me fastball away. I hit it to the right place, right to the hole between first and second, and was a good at bat, and we got the run.
You know, when runs are hard to come by, defense is so important. You got me that time. Defense is so important. We saw you obviously make the play at home plate. Cesar ends the game with a terrific play. Michael was putting on a clinic over there. How important is good defense when you're in a tight game like this?
Always it's important. I mean, I think we have to play defense to win games. Then defense and the pitching today was the key of the game. You know, we used to score 3 runs. Nola, he threw up a really good game, and we played defense, like I just say, and we won the game.
How much fun is it to play behind Aaron Nola when he's throwing the way he's throwing?
I mean, it's really good, man. Every time he step up, we know you have to score like 2 or 3 runs to win the game.
Before I let you go, it's Alumni Weekend. I saw all you and your teammates sitting up on the front row watching the Wall of Fame induction. When you stop to think about what you're a part of, wearing this Phillies uniform and how many years it goes back, pretty special night, right?
Yeah, man, it's unbelievable. Just to see all those guys today, I think have to motivate you know, to keep working and keep playing hard every day like those guys do. I hope we go in the same road they win, you know, and try to win something for Philadelphia too.
We certainly do too, Freddie. Thank you very much. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you. We appreciate Freddie Galvis sticking around and being part of our postgame here as the Phils win it 3-1. Aaron Nola is our Chevrolet player of the game. Guys, this guy was fantastic once again. It's kind of like a broken record about Aaron Nola.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking that step, like Michael said during the game. He's taking that step that this is one guy you're not going to have to worry about going into next season. Dynamic stuff, though. Great movement on his fastball. His changeup was a work in progress. It is now a weapon, as you see right there to Cespedes. And he can still get that fastball elevated enough to get it by left-hand hitters. And we know about the breaking ball. It is dynamic. And that's why Aaron Nola is our Chevrolet player of the game.
Phillies win it 3-1. They take game 3 of this series. They'll look to even the series tomorrow. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.